are just getting started.
Sports talk it is.
Your hosts, Tony Gwynn Jr.
That boy good.
and Chris Ello.
Max Muncy sucks.
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
I'm going to give it a shot. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris, everybody. Middle of the week, Wednesday. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. And welcome to everybody else as well. Tony Gwynn Jr. yesterday said he was going to go home and get some magic elixir for my throat. Here it is. He brought it in. By the way, that's a bit of a surprise, don't you think, Skraby?
That I remembered?
Tony remembered something like that?
Kind of,
24 hours?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he brought it in. So I'm going to try this. It's called Throat Coat. It's
New
an
me,
organic
baby. New
tea.
me.
Good.
Before the new year.
You're turning over the new leaf early. All
This
right.
is Don Orsillo's.
Yes, this is his
secret
magic
weapon.
elixir to
Yes.
fix the voice. So we're going to put it to the test.
Oh, do I need to go get you a cup of hot water?
Yes.
Not as
Okay,
hot
I'll
as
be back.
yesterday,
If there's
though.
some honey back there, kind of squeeze that
I
in
love
as
how
well.
he says not as hot as yesterday. How am I supposed to control the hot water?
Well, see if you
temperature?
can control it, because the water yesterday, I couldn't drink the tea for like an hour and a half.
Okay, I'll put an ice cube in there.
It's
okay?
ridiculous. The hottest I've ever seen. But anyway, we are with you and glad to be with you. Good show, 4 full hours today. AJ Cassavell, MLB.com, plenty of Padres stuff and rumors and innuendos that we can get into, including the name of a potential ownership interest out of the Bay Area. Big story in the San Francisco Chronicle today. So we'll talk about that a little bit, as we go along. Sports Court Day. And we've got all the rest of the regular activities. Tony,
Yes,
tonight, though,
Yes.
I believe the headline in the UT today, Mark Ziegler's story, quoting Brian Dutcher, that it is full. What was now? I forgot the word. You know how
It
old
was
I am.
full-
I forget these.
Now I forgot the
Now
word.
you forgot the word.
I didn't see the word.
No,
I
I
would help you guys
just
out.
had it. I literally just put
We
this
just
into the
talked about
sheet.
this a minute ago.
As we were walking down the hall. Give me a second.
We got to get it now.
Give me a second. Full urgency mode.
There it is.
is.
It's full urgency mode tonight for the Aztecs basketball. They will be hosting Utah Valley, which is a game that I think under normal circumstances, Tony, nobody would really even bat an eye at. You'd just be like, Utah Valley, all right, we'll win this one, go to the next one. But after the way they played in Las Vegas, and granted it's a much better competition they faced, but before that they lost at home to Troy. And defensively, they have given up 80 or more points in 4 consecutive games, something that it took them 100 games to do prior to that. So, urgency, you understand. And Utah Valley is a team, although 5, hasn't played that schedule, they average 85, 86 points a game, and they shoot 53%, number 6 in the nation. So I think it's a perfect test for the Aztecs tonight, and I hope they pass it.
This might be just what the Aztecs need, right? I mean, you're going to have to guard on the perimeter, and you're going to have to rebound. This team is averaging more boards than the Aztecs are during the course of the year. And so I think the thing everybody will be watching, it won't be what they're doing on the offensive end. It'll be how they are able to lock down on the defensive end. I mean, 80 points in 4 consecutive games just doesn't happen for the Aztecs.
No.
And I think that's why it's why we're on high alert, high urgency.
Yeah.
And I think today is a good test to see, they've had a week off to kind of lick their wounds a little bit and kind of get back into the gym, and we'll see what it looks like here tonight.
Yeah.
I will get to see it personally. I'm going to the game.
You're going to the game.
Yes.
Brian Dutcher talked about, in the article today, and I thought it was very interesting, that he and his staff have spent, the better part of the last 10 days or so trying to decide, excuse me, again, my voice, I'm going to get this stuff once Skraby
I'm going to
brings
go
the
get
water.
the water.
But Brian Dutcher and company have been trying to decide, Tony, whether they need to change their approach on defense to fit what they have better, or
Are these guys capable of doing
is what
they're
they
asking?
have just not being played well enough. And he said for now they're staying with what they have and they're going to just play it better. But I like the fact that he's looking at it.
I like that they've recognized. I mean, because that's what good coaches do. They don't try to force a round peg into a square area. They're going to get the area to kind of fit what their roster has. In this case, it's the defense. What does it look like if it does indeed have to change? And I don't know that it. And maybe we'd have to ask Dutcher about this at some point, or when we get the staff on, ask them about it. In the tenure of Steve Fisher,
have they ever had to change?
Have they ever had to change?
Yeah.
It would seem from the naked eye that the defense has kind of always been the same.
Game one, they lock people down, and they keep doing it all year. So it's a little bit of different circumstances. You mentioned the 80 points, and you go back the last 3 seasons. Okay, they lost to North Carolina in the tournament last year, gave up 95. Last year, they lost to Gonzaga, gave up exactly 80. And then in 2 years ago, they gave up 80 to UConn when they got eliminated in the Sweet 16. They gave up 80 in a game that year at New Mexico. And then you have to go all the way back to 2023. They won a game over Washington, but they gave up 97 points. It was an overtime game.
Yeah, I remember.
But that is it for the last 3 years. And now it's happened 4 games in a row. Now, part of it, I think, always, as you know, Tony, in terms of scoring points, let me see this water. Oh, not bad, Skraby.
You put ice cube in it?
Well, it's not steaming out of control. So that's good.
Yes,
you're very good at that.
Took a lot of care.
Very good.
Took a lot of care with this water. No honey.
There was no honey. Okay.
No, they cleared out the fridge last week, so all the honey is gone.
That's okay. We're going with we're testing the Don Orsillo
coat throat.
Throat coat. It's called throat coat. The other one was like cutthroat. This is throat coat. But I think part of it is that they're playing a little faster tempo though on offense, so there's more possessions, so that can lead to a bit of a higher score. But it's still something that they have to be, definitely watching.
Yeah, I mean,
tonight.
So along with, do they need to change their defensive principles in order to fit the roster? Do they come to the conclusion that playing an more up-tempo pace may not be beneficial for the defensive end when it's all said and done? And this is why, typically I think the Aztecs don't hit their stride until we get to that January, February. However, it's different this year from the standpoint that it's the defense that is the thing that needs to be fixed right now. Usually we're talking about putting up points.
Yes.
Now we're talking about stopping points from getting on the board.
The only thing that's been tough over the last 15 years is when the Aztecs have one of their games and shoot and can't make a shot.
Right.
But they still win a lot of those games because of their defense. I think the other thing tonight, Magoon Guath has got to, be better. And that's just obvious. He played, I think it was only 9 minutes in the game against Baylor, because he got 2 fouls in the first minute of the game. So there he goes out for the half. Then the first possession of the second half, he got another foul and had to go out again. Magoon Guath's too important. He's got to play defense, but not foul, and that's huge.
I think that's part of him getting his legs under him. I mean, be honest. This is his, 4th game back now?
True.
Didn't play until Troy. Didn't have really a preseason to kind of get himself. And a lot of times, especially for a defender like that, you typically you see these fouls as they're trying to get their conditioning up.
That's where it shows up.
Yeah, 100%.
You're a half a step late to somewhere, and when you're a half a step late, you're more likely to commit a foul. That's just how it works. So those are a couple things. On the other side, LZ Harrington has been great.
Awesome.
He's taken over the point guard job. He's going to start tonight. I didn't realize, Tony, he is shooting 91% from 3.
Yes.
That's not going to stay.
No,
but he's 10 for 11 this year from the arc. He's got to be leading the nation. There can't be anybody shooting better than 91% from the arc.
I tell you what, part of the thing that's been really impressive about LZ is that he doesn't take bad shots.
I don't think so. I agree.
I think especially for a freshman, like he has a great understanding of where he is most efficient from. He gets to those spots. And when he's taking these threes, they are well-selected threes.
Mark Ziegler was on with us. I think it was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. And he was saying he had to talk to some of the coaches about the quote unquote elephant in the room, which was, when do we make him a starter?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
They've
Because
already
he's going to take that spot.
They've already decided.
It was only a matter of time.
And I think
honestly.
here's the other thing that was not in the article today. But I think once we talk to Ziegler or the coaching staff again, I think it's still an elephant in the room, just on a different subject. Right now, they're playing 11 guys.
I said this when it was brought up at the very beginning.
They're playing 11 guys. They're all playing between 15 and 20 minutes. I don't think anyone's getting into the proper rhythm.
Nope.
I think guys are sitting out too long in stretches of games. But I don't know which two guys have to be cut from that rotation.
Because it does seem like
but
the
I
rotation
think-
needs to get shorter.
I think
for
they're
sure.
going to have to do it. Either that or somehow figure out a way to keep everybody going.
And that
Because 11 is too many, and that's something Dutcher talked about. He goes, I don't know how I'm going to do
he
it.
said it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
That it could end up being that someone's not going to be very happy. And this is the tough part about college sports in 2025 and NIL being kind of connected to that. As lovely as an 11-man rotation sounds,
Yeah.
in terms of just being able to rapid fire in and out, have nobody's ever tired.
Nobody ever gets tired. You're running like crazy.
It's hard. First of all, I think it takes a very, very mature roster, everybody understanding their particular role.
Hard, though.
It's extremely hard for 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds.
The team that went to the final game was 9 guys.
Yeah.
That's, I think.
And that's a lot. That's still
right.
That's on the higher side
Yeah.
for a rotation.
And just real quick, we got to get to break. But here are the 11, and you as an Aztec fan, tell me who you'd take out. Miles Byrd, Farrell Compton, BJ Davis, Taj DeGorville, Reese Dixon Waters, Magoon Gwath, Elsie Harrington, Miles Heide, Sean Newman Jr., Jeremiah Oden, and Tay Simmons. All of them should be playing.
Right.
But I don't know that they can. And that's going to be one of the other things going forward with the Aztecs. Hoops. All right, good start to the show. We're underway. Padres news is, I think it's interesting. There's a name, there's an owner, Bay Area, already owns teams, right?
Owns the Golden
Yes.
State Warriors.
Always owns the Warriors.
And the Valkyries.
Okay. So he's got money. We'll talk about whether there's any truth to that or any potential legs to that. Joe Musgrove was on the morning show with Ben and Woods. We'll get some of his thoughts as Gwynn and Chris gets rolling.
might be wondering, who is this? Well, he's one of the, I should say, he is reportedly one of the names interested in possibly buying the Padres. So let's a little background on him.
According to the San Francisco Chronicle, very real interest.
Very real interest. And he's got, so here's my prerequisites that really don't matter because it's not my team, but you got to have money and you got to and typically owners who have that kind of money, it's kind of already built in that they want to win. Whether you're talking about my man for the Mets, whether we're talking Mark Walters, whether we're talking, who am I missing? The Yankees, any of those teams, they all, although Hal is crying poor right now. I don't know if we can count.
We never talked about that. We haven't. We should get to that. But he certainly is the name that I think of the ones that have been reported immediately moves to the front of the line.
I want somebody with a bunch of money, so much money that it just, it's never going to come into question whether or not the Padres are going to try to spend. I don't know you can find anybody that's going to spend with the Dodgers. So I don't know that that's a requirement. My first name, I thought it was Steve Ballmer. But that took a big hit today. And we'll get into it a little later, but if you didn't hear about the Chris Paul thing with the Clippers, that whole organization sounds like it's a disaster right now that Ballmer is overseeing. So maybe that's not best. The Warriors have been one of the, if not the, marquee franchise in the NBA for how long? Decade and a half?
Yeah.
So you've got an owner that's, obviously got bank.
Can we talk about that for a second?
And he's been successful.
The decade and a half real quick.
Decade and a half.
Who you going with, Tony?
I guess so. 25, so 2000. Yeah, okay. I can get that.
He was really struggling with that.
He was or I was?
I was.
Well, they've won how many titles?
That's true.
How many did they win? 4 or 5?
4.
In about 12 years. That's pretty good. And they've also been to the finals the other times, or most of the other times.
Who are we talking about? Oh, Golden State.
Golden State.
Did I not? I swear I heard you say Clippers.
Well, he was talking about Steve Ballmer. But
I started with Ballmer, and I'm dismissing the Clippers right now because I like this guy with his attachment to the Warriors better.
I got you.
Yeah, the Warriors. Okay, so he purchased the Warriors 15 years ago, and they have won 4 titles since then.
Yes, and how many finals? They've been in at least 2 or 3 more in the finals.
At least 6
finals.
If
we're talking about the Warriors owner, absolutely, he fits the criteria of everything you would want in terms of an owner. Someone who wants to win. Remember, the guy who green lighted going to go get Kevin Durant, despite already having
a championship team.
100%. That's the kind of owner you want.
Guarantee that they'd win the championship,
and it did. It pretty much
and
guaranteed.
They did. Yes.
I would like to pat myself on the back real quick because
why is this?
You may remember maybe a month ago I brought this up on the air, not on this show, but on the Skraby show.
Oh, so
I have a friend, my source in San Francisco.
On the back for something that didn't happen on our show.
My source in San Francisco told me a month ago that this
on the Skraby Chronicles.
No, he didn't come on. He's not going to come on. He's my source. I can't reveal my source.
But the question is, did you pass along the information?
I did.
On the Chronicles or on our
the
show?
Chronicles.
You can't get a pat on the back.
Okay, well, it still happened. But what they're saying is this guy.
I'll give you a pat on the hip, but I'm not going back.
This guy, he has been trying to get a baseball team for a long time. He had like a handshake agreement for the A's like 20-something years ago. Bud Selig ended up giving the A's to John Fisher and his like frat boy partner or whatever. And so he also tried to buy the Angels. The Angels ended up not selling the team.
Oh, so he was in on the most recent.
Yes, he's been in on some of these things now.
So he wants this bad boy. Sounds like
he wants a baseball team, and this, Mr. Lacob, if you're listening, is the perfect baseball team for you. I'm doing the sale for the Padres.
It is. I mean, not that the Padres need one because they have one of the best, if not the best stadium in all of baseball.
David asked a question, which is a good question. The thing about the Warriors owner is he is loyal to the Bay Area. Like, how does that work with the Giants? He's not a Giants guy because he wanted to get in.
Giants ain't up for sale.
Nope. And they told him that he can never own the entire part of the team. He was only going to own a part. And he said, I'm good.
Here's a little more info on him. Because if you're looking for Bay Area connection, to me, the Warriors is the only real connection.
Right.
He's from Boston or area, Massachusetts, near Boston. He went to UC Irvine and then UCLA.
So he's been
he's Southern California, for a while in that regard. And let's add in 5 NBA champions for the Warriors since 2008. We said 4, so we're shorting them one.
They got that one in recently.
They had the 2022. So here's the reason I'm overreacting and excited. I don't want this to drag on too long. I don't think anybody really does. I know things take time. You got to work everything out. You got to find the right fit, and everything's got to work. All the, I's dotted, T's crossed, that kind of thing. But the longer the Padres remain in sell mode, the longer the potential is for them not to want to spend money.
And for those who may have caught that last part, sell mode meaning the team being up for sale, not the roster being up for sale.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, we do need to separate.
Yes, I know people will read into everything, but as long as the Silers have come out and said they're going to, take a look at selling and what that's all about, then I just want it to get done, because the sooner somebody comes in, the quicker we can start, not being able to use. Well, we're, looking at a possible sale, so we have to keep.
We can stop being in this kind of hung space where we can't. Doesn't seem like anything can really happen.
Don't quite know where to go.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Lacob, tomorrow,
come on in.
You start.
I was going to say tomorrow. That the Warriors just opened up that new arena, and how much tech is involved with that, and different things like that. So this sounds like type of owner that Padres are deserving of having. The fans are deserving of having.
I like individuals that own teams.
Yes.
I do not like investment groups that own teams.
Could you, by the way, you've brought this up on a number of occasions. What teams are investment groups?
The Red Sox have an investment group that put a lot of money into them. The Cubs have an investment group. It's not like they own the 100% part of the team, but a lot of these investment groups are gaining more and more shares of these teams.
I mean, you named me 2 out of 30.
Okay, well, let me do some. I didn't know we were talking investment groups today.
You brought it up, and you made it seem like it's a huge problem.
They're getting in, Tony. That's all I got to say is you got to watch out for the investment groups.
If you're looking for that, this is what this guy did. This is how he made his money as a venture capitalist. So
I guess because he's an individual.
But he's an individual.
Well, he was part of a bunch of megla, corporations that did that.
But to Skraby's point.
Oh, here we go. There is an investment group involved with the Dodgers, Cubs, Giants, Red Sox, and then the NBA Kings, Warriors, Jazz, Tampa Bay Lightning.
I mean, first of all, quite a few of those teams you just named are winning with their investment group. You mentioned Dodgers. You mentioned Golden State. You mentioned Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, let me reframe the argument.
Yeah, please.
I don't like investment groups being involved with sporting teams because they don't care about winning. They care about money.
Let me get to the bottom line for Mr. Joe Lacob. And that's LACOB. As of 2022, according to Forbes, $1.5 billion is his net worth. Is that enough?
Not what? No, nope.
No,
no. Well, what do you say? 2024?
2.5 is what the supposed number is for this Padre team.
Well, that was 2 years ago, so everything's worth more by now.
Yeah, it's got to be like 6 now.
I mean, all the rich people are getting richer, so he definitely got.
Here's one thing I like about Joe Lacob. Apparently, in 2015, when he was the owner, he was the guy who fired Mark Jackson and brought in Steve Kerr. But here's kind of what I like. He said, quote, part of it was Mark Jackson, couldn't get along with anybody else in the organization. Look, he did a great job, and I'll always compliment him in many respects, but you can't have 200 other people in the organization not like you. Ooh. That was probably a pretty unpopular thing for him to say at the time, because Mark Jackson had some very good success there. But this guy was willing.
Got that thing rolling.
Right. He got him rolling. But he was willing to step in, make an explanation, though people probably didn't like it. And it turned out, obviously, for the better with Steve Kerr coming in. So
yeah, it's hard to say that he got it wrong. So
yeah, at this point, pretty hard to say he got it wrong.
All right, let's get to break. We're gonna tap in with none other than AJ Cassavell. Join us next. Talk a little Padres winter meeting, who they may be targeting. More Gwynn and Chris on the side.
Gwynn and Chris on.
I feel better. The throat's way better to feel in terms of how I feel today. Don Orsillo's tea is being put to the test.
I will say that what happens with that tea, because I used it when my voice was going out.
Right.
There'll be pockets of time where your voice picks up, and
you
then
feel good for a minute,
and then you'll lose it a little bit,
Yeah.
and it kind of does that for the next couple of days as it coaches.
Tries to work its way back.
All I can think about is like Drano, that graphic of Drano covering the entire pipe, and that's what. Anyway,
this is
Be
throat
careful
coat.
with that stuff.
Drano.
Yeah,
I'm not going to drink it.
I mean,
Why? Why be careful? What's wrong?
you can't put it down all of your
Yeah.
your piping. You know.
Yeah, sometimes it breaks it. You need to make sure you know what kind of piping you have before you put Drano in there.
Yes. You do.
I will say that our boss Adam Klug was very caring, and he walked in the studio and break and tried to get Chris to go home, but Chris flat out refused.
There's no way I'm going
I told
home.
Chris. I said, Chris is born in the '60s. You know that's not happening, dog.
I think that's the biggest part of it.
That's
His generation,
they don't do that.
he will show up with no leg that got cut off outside because he has to go to work.
100%.
I can talk, right?
Yeah,
need
you
a
can
leg.
talk. Remember that one time you got
He'd limp.
I would
he'd
try to
hop in
ref. I
here.
would try to ref a game without a leg.
my mom and Chris are from the same era, and sometimes my mom will get hurt, continue to hurt
Just
herself.
keep going, right?
I'm like, Mom, stop! No, I gotta finish it. Like, what?
It is a trip to see that generation. when
I've
it
refed
comes-
a
when it
couple of
comes to work.
games. Refed at least 2 games in my career where I, pulled a hammy in the first quarter and just kept icing it at every break. I mean, what are you going to do? Quit? Call the game?
Yes.
No.
Go sit down.
I mean, look
Not
what happened to
calling
the
the
NFL
game.
referee. He left the game with
Yeah, well,
a
that's-
apparent non-injury.
He probably wasn't born in the 60s.
That's
just
a good
Not as
point.
tough as we are.
That's a good point.
Not as tough as we are.
That's a great point.
Yeah, this hour 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by IHOP, introducing the IHOP value menu where all your breakfast faves, $6 every day. Where else can you get a big, filling sit-down breakfast for $6? Go to your Happy Plates with the $6 IHOP value menu. Available every day at IHOP at $7 in some locations. We're going to have AJ Cassavell from MLB.com joining us here to talk about what's up with the Friars, because they really haven't been in the news at all.
No.
I mean, we've kind of had to make stuff up to talk about the Padres the last couple of weeks, but we'll get the latest, see if there is any latest, and curious, what he thinks about. Because I do wonder. Let's just say that this guy Joe Lacob is the guy, and he called the Padres and he said, "Yep, I want to do it." How long are we looking at for all the lawyers and all the people who do this kind of transaction? How long would we be looking at? 6 months?
I would think more.
More? I don't know.
I think it would be fast.
You think it'd be fast?
If
Yeah.
it got done in 6 months.
Oh, you think that would be fast?
I think that would be fast.
So you can't just call and go, "I'll buy." They go, "All right, it'll be this much,"
What's your debit card number?
and you send. Yeah, you put it on the Zelle.
Well, I got
Yes, Zell.
Send it down
I
to
only
the-
have so much in this account. I got to make sure I
Yeah.
transfer.
Send it down
Yeah.
to the Seidler family or camp, and then you're the owner.
Yeah, I don't know that it works like that. And on top of that, then there needs to be approval from the other 29
Right.
owners. So I would love for it to be done come June, July, but
Right. Not
it's-
likely.
I don't think it's likely. I think it would be very fast.
All guests on the 97.3 The Fan join us via the David P. Shapiro fan hotline.
Love that guy.
David P. Shapiro, I do. Also, a criminal defense attorney. He helps good people. That's why you like him, Skraby. He helps good people regain control of their future when they're charged with a crime. He's been doing it since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. AJ Cassavell.
Decade and a half right there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Same time as the Warriors have dominated the NBA.
Right.
AJ Cassavell, MLB.com. Welcome to the program. How is your December going?
It's good. It's about to probably get a little busier with the winter meetings, but right now it's so far so good.
What is keeping there's nothing keeping us busy with the Padres right now. What do you do when you're on the beat and there's really nothing to call anybody about? Do you call to say hello anyway, or?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I think next week is when usually the off season starts to heat up. So I don't know if it will. It didn't last year, but this organization has a tendency of making some big moves at the winter meetings, or at least getting things going at the winter meetings. So maybe next week's the week.
Now,
What do I do? I think I just sit here and wait for the Penn State coaching search to happen.
Yeah, I figured you're in on that search.
Well, I am leading my college football pick'em pool right now, so I don't know if that makes me qualified.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're qualified, but I think the real question is: are we as AJ in long hair, don't care mode, or are we cut short?
No, it's still long hair, don't care mode.
Okay.
It's been that way for a long time. I don't know when I'm going back, but for now, off season AJ definitely long hair, don't care. In the season, maybe trim it a little bit more.
Fair enough.
I thought you were referring to AJ Preller on that question because he grows his hair out sometimes.
No, he's definitely short hair right now.
Okay,
for sure. Let's get to the down to brass tacks. Obviously, winter meetings coming up, and Padres have some holes to fill, specifically in the starting rotation. You highlighted it in your article yesterday. Where do the Padres go? I mean, do we even know kind of the parameters that they can maybe spend, or do we have any of that as we go into the winter meetings?
I don't think we have the parameters. I do think there are some parameters. I just don't necessarily know what they are.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to need starting pitching in some way, shape, or form, and they had some money come off the books with some of the guys that left last year, and obviously the guys that are free agents now. And so, I mean, I've written this a dozen times, but they need to find, I think, the next Nick Pivetta, the guy that they can find on a reasonable deal. Probably not the deal that Dylan Cease got or what Michael King's likely to get, but who could have that ceiling of becoming a front of the rotation type starter. And then they probably need to add two other starters around that. And so I think if you're doing that shrewdly, you can do it with some kind of like look at the finances and make it work. You wonder if there's trades in the works and what they even have to trade, but obviously starting pitching is the biggest area of need. I will say, the fact that this organization has been able to find those kinds of guys in the past would give me a lot of sense for optimism, because they have been able to, when they've lost bigger name pitchers, go out and find the next big name pitcher who they end up signing for a reasonable deal, a Seth Lugo, a Michael Wacha, Nick Pivetta, who then goes on to become kind of front of the rotation.
Yeah. Excuse me, and traded for Michael King, who I don't think anybody thought would be a front of the rotation guy until he was. AJ Cassavell is with us from MLB.com. All right, ESPN.com, certainly not the authority, but just to give an example, I'm looking at their current depth chart, and it lists starting pitchers: Dylan Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish, 1, 2, 3. Well, we know that right now Padres don't have any of those guys. So, yes, they definitely need to replace. What do you think about Michael King? Does the Dylan Cease signing in Toronto, in your mind, make it more or less likely that Michael King could still fall back and wind up here again? Because I think most of us would like to see him here again.
I mean, I would love to see him here again. I enjoyed covering him. He's a bright guy and a good pitcher. I would just say probably pretty unlikely given what Cease got. And I don't think Michael King will necessarily get the length of the deal that Cease got, but starting pitching is a very hot commodity clearly on the free agent market. And a lot of teams are going to be very interested in Michael King. And so I think it's unlikely. I don't know if it was made any more or less likely, but if I had to guess, I would say less likely by the deal that Cease got in Toronto. The Padres will get draft pick compensation for that, obviously, but they need to go out and find starters. And I would be surprised at this point if Michael King were one of them. I do think there's a possibility that Michael King will sign a different type of deal than the one that Cease got, which Cease was just 210, 7 years. I think maybe there's a different pathway for Michael King, who hasn't been a starter for as long, for a type of deal where maybe there's an opt-out or something like that after a season or two. But beyond that, I just don't know. I don't know if the Padres will be in on Michael King the way some other teams will be. I think they address their pitching questions by finding essentially the next Michael King.
AJ Cassavell joins us here, covers the Padres with MLB.com. And AJ, you mentioned having to try to find the next Nick Pivetta. Do you see a guy in this list of, I would say, deep but not top tier pitching free agents this year?
If I did, I think they might have a role in the front office. Because Nick, I thought Nick Pivetta was a pretty good pitcher, but I didn't see coming what last season was. I don't know. I thought
I
Cody
guess
Ponce was an interesting kind of candidate. And then he signed with Toronto. I looked down the list of pitchers. I don't necessarily see that guy, but the Padres have found him, and it might not be on the free agent market. Maybe they find some way to come together with the trade.
Yeah.
And it might be a guy that we're not even thinking of at this point. So my short answer is no. I wish I had a better answer. But I suspect the Padres internally have a couple of guys they're targeting. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's Mason Miller. I know we haven't gotten exactly a ton of resolution on where that is.
Yeah, our esteemed producer, Matt Skraby, said, why don't you ask him about Mason Miller? And then you said it. So you guys are on the same boat. Mason Miller, okay, great closer. We know this, but he's wanted to start. How much does he want to start? Adrian Morejon, I will throw him in that. I know he started at one point, became so successful last year out of the bullpen. I imagine those are things you're going to at least take a look at.
Yeah, they'll definitely take a look at them. And here's what I think can't happen. What can't happen is you move those guys to the rotation just because you're desperate for starters. Like, if that's the reason you're doing this, because you don't have starting pitchers and your bullpen is just kind of a glut of guys, there's too many, like that's a bad reason to do it, because you know how good Morejon and Miller are. That being said, like, if those guys want to do it, and if you can extract value from those guys, and if they're in on that plan, and you really think that they can be, I mean, I think it's pretty clear both of them in theory could be more valuable as starting pitchers. The question is the risk associated with it if they aren't good, or the extra injury risk. I think there's some merit to discussing it. I think we'll probably find out soon what the Padres' plan is. I just don't think they're going to go into this with the plan being, well, we don't have starting pitchers, we need somebody, let's throw these two guys into the mix. I think it's going to be more, I think we can get more from these guys as starting pitchers without as much risk. And the Padres have proven they can do it in the past. But if it's like, there's clearly so much value for those two guys, I think you can make the case that they were maybe the two best relievers on National League teams by the end of last season. Like, neither of them were first or second team all MLB. I think they both should have been. And I think that they provide a ton of value already in the bullpen. AJ Preller said it at the general managers meetings that he didn't want to take a strength and a weakness and turn them into kind of two mediocre aspects of the roster. Like, you want to keep the strength in the bullpen and then make the rotation into something that I think the Padres have had pretty good rotations the last few years. I think they could probably find that on the open market, even if they don't end up transitioning those guys into a starting role.
That's well said, AJ, because the reality is, in order for it to be the success that everybody wants, that means they would have to be a starter, at least at the same level that they were a reliever, or else you are taking one strength and making two mediocre. So we'll see how AJ Preller decides to kind of put this whole thing together. AJ Cassavell joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And AJ, the pitching is where we've kind of focused on, but it certainly isn't the only hole that the Padres have to address. DH/first base, also a part of that conversation. There seems to be some options there, but again, without knowing what the Padres can spend or what they are interested in spending, it's kind of hard to really decipher who those guys will be.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part of all this. Like, obviously, Luis Arraez is a free agent now. Ryan O'Hearn's a free agent now. Those should be guys that interest the Padres, but like, it depends on what the market says and what the Padres have to spend on those guys, because I think their bigger needs are elsewhere. It also is going to be interesting kind of philosophically, like what direction they take the offense. Obviously, it's a pretty contact-prone offense that has kind of in some ways been made out to be a bad thing. It clearly is not. Like, look at what the Blue Jays did when you combine contact-heavy approach with some slug. Like, that's what this offense, I think, kind of should aspire to be. That being said, I don't know what that means in terms of whether they would be interested in reuniting with Luis Arraez, or whether they would go toward a more of a power bat type. I think this could be one that drags out a little bit, because there are some options, and it shouldn't be that hard of a hole to fill, just because, like, that's the type of position that there are plenty of guys. So I think we'll see going forward. It'll be interesting to see who they get to fill that spot, and I think it'll tell us a lot about the philosophical direction of what they think about the offense.
AJ Cassavell is with us. Excuse me, AJ. Fernando Tatis Jr. everything we've been told by the organization and every question that's been asked, I think has been answered with Fernando is not going anywhere. And then I can't seem to avoid people rumoring that he's being shopped. And it's something that the Padres will and really want to take a look at. Ken Rosenthal seems to kind of be at the forefront of this. We know how we all feel about him sometimes. But do you really – I mean, if – let's just say it got to that point where they felt they could improve this whole roster by trading him. Let's just say they did it. What would the reaction be? Like, would they be able to even get away with it if they thought that was the thing to do?
Well, my first question before we even get there is how would you improve the whole roster by trading Fernando Tatis Jr.,
Yeah,
who's
right.
probably your best player. So, like, if we're getting there to a trade where you're making the roster that much better, like he is a really good player who plays excellent defense, does a lot of things offensively, I think is probably has more potential to be tapped into than what he got. So I do think you might be selling a little bit low on him. Like, are you able to make the roster better? And if you're not, then it's a non-starter. If you are, I frankly don't necessarily see how that happens. But if you are, then you have to, I think, probably entertain it because it's the job of the general manager. But also, it just seems so unlikely that you could find that, and so tricky to make that work. That I think this is one where I believe the Padres when they say they're really not interested. That doesn't mean they're not going to field phone calls when the phone calls come in, if the phone calls come in. But I don't see it because of what you said about making the roster better by making that trade. I just don't see how that happens.
AJ, do you think Jake Cronenworth is a Padre in 2026 to start the year?
Yeah, I think yes. But I'm a little more skeptical than I would have been. I mean, he's been mentioned in trade rumors before. And I think it was pretty clear that he was staying a lot of those times. And now I'm maybe a little more skeptical. So I would answer yes, but I kind of understand the merits of a trade. If you're trying to free up some resources to allocate elsewhere, he's a guy that has some value and has a several years left on his contract, but you can still get something for him. That being said, it's not easy to find guys that are as versatile as Jake Cronenworth and a guy who I think would be your starting second baseman next year. That's not a position with a ton of guys who have the talent that Cronenworth does defensively and what he does offensively and frankly, what he brings to the clubhouse. So I think it's unlikely that they would do that. But I think if, like we just talked about Tatis, like if they were to explore that type of trade where they're dealing from the offense to maybe free up some financial flexibility to spend elsewhere, perhaps on pitching, like that would make a little bit more sense to me than Tatis. I just still think it's kind of unlikely given the role that he fills and how hard it would be to replace him.
AJ Cassavell is irreplaceable on this show. Leave you with this, AJ. Craig Stammen, your first impressions. I know everybody's a big fan of Craig Stammen, the player, and maybe even the front office guy. What are your first impressions of Craig Stammen, the manager?
Yeah, first impressions are just that, like, I'm not surprised that he's the manager, that he is a manager. Just maybe like happened faster than I expected. But having covered Craig and having worked like with Craig and talked with Craig when he was in the front office and seen what he did the last couple of years, if you told me Craig Stammen would be a manager in the next 10 years, I would have said absolutely, that makes a ton of sense. If you had told me he was going to be the Padres manager in 2026, I would have been like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's a little surprising. And so here we are. I just think he has all the tools and kind of all the wisdom and knowledge he needs to succeed as a first-time manager, but that just doesn't guarantee anything with a first-time manager because you kind of never know how these things go, and a lot of times it's out of the control of the manager, basically how it goes. So we'll find out, I think, more come spring training and whatnot, but I think he has all the tools in terms of just the emotional aspect relating to guys as well as the tactical acumen to make it work. We'll just have to find out whether it does.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Have a great holiday season. We'll catch up with you soon, sir.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, great. AJ Cassavell right there joining us.
Always on point.
Always, yeah. And I think we're lucky to have some time with him so we could kind of cover, I think, most everything that's on everybody's mind out there. He joined us on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Been doing it since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I guess I'll take us to break. And I can't do it. Oh, yes, I can. Because there is the music.
You kind of sound like Brady Hoke a little bit.
Brady Hoke.
Hey, everybody, it's Skraby Hoke. Remember Skraby Hoke?
I do remember Skraby Hulk.
All right, break time. Daily Gambit, other side.
Yeah.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by IHOP. Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to Happy Plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu, available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Sello, Matt Skraby, Gwynn and Chris into hour number 2. And what? You seem
Sorry,
like you
I know.
had something you wanted to say
open
there.
my mouth and make the audible. I was going to say, Chris, you're getting suggestions about what to do with your voice. K-Laws.
I'm not sure I want to hear this, but
K-Law says, y'all need to get Chris the ginger honey tea jelly jar thing from H-Mart and then add lemon juice when you make it into a tea.
my goodness. Okay.
Sounds like a lot of work, but I'm
Just
willing
lemon
to.
honey jelly jar.
Ginger honey tea jelly jar thing.
ginger honey.
Don't forget the thing at the end. Chris, how's your voice doing?
Like I said, I don't feel too bad. I know you guys are not hearing it the way I would like you to hear it. but I'm working on the tea, the Don Orsillo stuff, and
Do I need to get you some more water?
yes, warm to hot water again. Like you did
So the
last
temperatures,
time.
was the temperature
Well, now
was
it's
right.
too cold.
It's
but
too cold
yeah,
now.
It was good when you brought it in.
My goodness.
It's that'll be just right. Come on, man.
That's
What
not
is
your
that from?
fault.
Is that from
That's the three little
Goldilocks,
bears.
yeah.
Was it
That'd be
three little
just-
bears?
We're doing Goldilocks
Yeah,
now.
Goldilocks and the three little bears.
That's what it is. All right.
Just right.
We have a daily gambit to get to. We did have some bets. We are shortly about to find out how we did.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Let's get into the bets that we made last night. Duke was 8.5-point favorites over Florida. Chris went Florida. Tony and I went Duke. Duke did win the game, but they only won by 67-66. So we don't win that bet, Tony. Kansas at UConn.
Thank you for clarifying.
2.5-point favorite. You're welcome. Kansas. I chose Kansas. Chris chose Kansas. Oh, Tony chose the Jayhawks, which is Kansas.
We all were
UConn.
rooting against Dan Hurley.
Yeah, we all were wrong because UConn won by 5, 61-56.
By the way, I watched some of the game. Did you see any of it at all, Tony?
I did not.
Okay, the The camera angle was a little interesting because it was from behind the benches. Usually the benches are on the far side of the camera.
Yeah.
In this case, they were down below at the bottom of the screen.
That's kind of like Duke as well.
But
It's
Duke's
like
like that too. So, but because of this, you could see Dan Hurley, the back of him, standing there watching his team. The guy never stops moving. He's directing all 5 players every time down the floor. I'm like, dude, take a break.
He doesn't take a break.
And you don't need to know the play if you're watching. Just watch him. He'll tell you where everyone is supposed to go with his hand signals. He's crazy. He's certifiable.
That's
There's
why
no question.
that's why they said he wouldn't have made it in an NBA season. It's just
no way.
too long to keep that
Every
up.
possession. Run over. Get over there. Get over there.
How does that-
You're out. I'm like,
How
oh my
does that
God,
guy
I was
not
wearing
lose his
out
voice?
watching him.
Yeah, that is
He
crazy.
does lose his voice. I
Oh, he
think he
does.
loses it quite often.
Okay. You should lose it more.
Yeah.
UCSD and Nevada last night. Nevada minus 5.5 point favorites. Chris went UCSD. Tony and I went Nevada. And Tony and I won. Nevada won 76-70. Knicks minus 1.5 at the Celtics last night. Chris went Celtics. Tony and I went Knicks. Wrong move because Boston won 123-117. OKC minus 11.5 at Golden State.
It's a bad day for me.
All of us went Golden State. All of us were wrong.
By a half point.
By a half point. OKC wins 124-112.
And Oklahoma City scored like 8 points
Yeah,
in the
they
last
did. They,
30
like, ran
seconds of
away.
the game to beat the spread.
It was a good game up until like that
Yes.
point.
Right.
Let's see. Who scored more points? Jaylen Brown or Jalen Brunson?
Brunson was awful last night.
He was. Chris and Tony went Brunson. I went Brown. Brown had 42.
It was a good game, though.
Brunson had 15.
Winner for you.
Draymond, over under 15.5 points plus rebounds. Chris and I went over. Tony went under. He had 13 points and 9 rebounds, 22 total. He was over. Finally, Canucks at the Avalanche minus 1.5. We all chose Avs. Avs win 3-1, so we win that one.
Avs are 19-1 now. So
They're like the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, they're the OKC of the NHL. All right, here we go. Aztecs 8.5 over Utah Valley.
I'm afraid to pick this
Me
one,
too.
honestly.
I'm not afraid, man. They had a lot of practice time. That is always a good thing. Aztecs.
I wish I could be as confident, and I will be fake it till I make it right now. We're going Aztecs.
Skraby, if you take the Wolverines, that's it for you.
The contrarian is coming out.
Uh-oh.
Lost 3 out of 4.
Oh, here he is.
Fell to Troy.
All right. Well, pick
With
at your
that
own
said,
peril.
You're going to pick the Aztecs.
I'm
You're
going to pick the
chicken out.
Aztecs.
Well, here's the more interesting wager potentially on this game. Over under 144 points. That's 75-70. So you're getting close to that 80 mark. Tony, what do you think? Over under 144.5, and the Aztecs talking about playing more defense.
Under.
He's going under. Scrape. The Aztecs have given up 80 or more 4 straight.
I'm going to go over.
You are going to go over.
Yes.
I'm going to say under because it better be under. Like if they even if they win 85-80, people are going to be like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
USF, the Dons.
My guys.
Well, I put them in there in case you picked against the Aztecs.
Oh.
So we can pick against
Right.
them.
I had a little backup plan here, Tony. The Dons are 16.5 over the North Alabama Lions. Who knew that Alabama was big enough to have a North Alabama, a South Alabama, UAB, Auburn, Alabama? There's a lot of schools.
I thought you were going to go in this direction. How many Lions are there in Alabama?
There's many
Lions.
as many Lakers as there are in Los Angeles, I guess.
Good point. Good point.
You're first,
At
Greg.
least they came from a place that had lakes.
True. Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz is actually worse. Utah Jazz never has worked. Never.
Because, I always think of Salt Lake City when I think Jazz.
Jazz, right?
Yeah, sure
I'm
you do.
taking a Jazz vacation over the summer, and I'm going
Going
to
to
Salt
Salt
Lake.
Lake.
Going there.
What was the spread?
16. You're going with the Dons. 16.5.
Yes, I'll go with the Dons.
I'll take the Dons at home. North Alabama is 4-4. Tony, Dons are 5-3, by the way.
Give me North Alabama.
Why not? All right. I put this in just because I've been looking forward to saying it all year. Louisville. That's not what I've been looking forward to. They're 2.5 over the sauce.
The sauce.
I love the sauce. Arkansas is the sauce. Game is at Arkansas. And I'm first. I got to go with the sauce. They're at home, underdog. Come on. Take the points. Tony.
Sauce.
Right away. It's great.
I gotta go sauce.
All sauce.
All sauce.
Now, when I spell sauce in the sheet, should it be SAS or like the word sauce?
Yeah, that's a good call. Good question.
We don't have an answer, so I'm going with the actual word.
All right. On the women's side, TCU women hosting Incarnate Word.
Uh-oh.
We played a game down there one day, the Aztec women. So I've been to their school. It's in San Antonio. TCU, though, by 50.5. I bring this up because TCU women's basketball might be the greatest example of what the NIL is about of any program and anywhere. Remember 2 years ago, they couldn't even field a team.
They had to ask their volleyball team or one of the other teams to help.
They had to forfeit their games.
Yeah.
They couldn't get anybody to play.
Yeah.
Now they're a top 10 team in the nation. It didn't take very long.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe they were a top 25 team when that all situation went down. They had won a bunch, and then they everybody got hurt and they petered out.
Last year they were in the Elite 8. Wow. This year they're in the top 10. After all that, 50.5 points, Tony.
That's where Van Lith
went last year. Yes.
How did she do in the WNBA this year? Random question.
She didn't play a lot. She was coming off the bench mostly.
Right. What is the
50.5?
Gosh, I want to.
Incarnate Word.
Incarnate. Can y'all just get it to 49?
You're going, huh?
I'm going Incarnate.
Going with IC.
Wow.
Skraby?
I'm going TCU.
Yeah. Boy, I'll go TCU. Hawks 3.5 over the Clippers. We got to talk more about the Clippers. The mess with Chris Paul.
Next segment.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But apparently there are just all kinds of problems there. Chris Paul was, if you didn't hear, was sent home and said you're off the team.
Yeah. In the middle of the night.
Did they even buy his plane flight? I mean, he can afford it, but he's in Atlanta when they do this to him.
I wonder if Cliff Paul came and picked him up.
From the commercial?
Yes.
Well, we're assuming Chris Paul has insurance at least. Maybe that helped him.
I would think so.
So anyway, Skraby, Hawks -3.5 in Atlanta over the Clippers situation.
I'm going based off of what our boss Adam said before the show in the back studio. The Hawks are better than we think. I will say the Hawks.
All right. I'll say the Clippers in this one, but where is Kawhi, really? I love Kawhi, but where are you? Tony?
Yeah, it's got to be the Hawks.
The Hawks.
The Hawks.
Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 48.5 points, rebounds, assist. Bucks are home to the Pistons. I bring this up. Bucks have lost 8 in a row.
Wow.
Which is surprising. They have fallen to 11th in the East. And actually, they've lost 8 of 10. I think they snuck a win in there, but they've been losing quite a bit. And did I read that Antetokounmpo is now not 100% sure he's committed to them?
They're having meetings today.
Yeah, so
according to Shams.
Interesting.
He could have done this over the offseason too.
I mean, listen, the man is in his particular case, he is seemingly trying to do everything to get them to give him a reason to stay in terms of winning championships.
But how many do they owe him? They got him one. Do they owe him more?
They got him one or he got them one?
Well, together they got one.
I don't know. You look at that roster, I would go and venture to say
you say
he got them one.
Okay.
They
I
had
don't
to
know.
pay him though, so ultimately
they did. Ultimately, I think he is probably destined for someplace else.
I'm going to say over tonight in his points, rebounds, assists. Highly motivated, I say. Tony.
Oh, he's putting on a show for everyone.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, yeah, I know he's going to play. Yeah, I'm going over
Although
too.
the Pistons are good, though.
Pistons are real good.
Skraby?
I'll go under.
Why?
I'm kind of mad at him now.
No, I wanted you to say you're the
contrarian.
That's it for The Daily Gambito. today.
I just don't like it when guys are like, things were good enough for me 2 months ago, but they're not good enough for me now.
If he would have said, no, I'm not going to sign.
Over the summer?
Yeah. There wasn't over the summer that he signed this. He signed it a few years ago.
Okay, well, he could have. He the whole summer, the whole rumor mill was, will he be traded? Won't he be traded?
That's not his fault that we are making up stories about him being traded. Looks like we wasn't making it up. He might be traded when it's all said and done.
Tony likes to defend athletes that he likes.
I don't have a feeling on Giannis, actually.
I will say this. It's gotten so bad for the Bucks. Their last game, they lost to the Wizards. So that's low for the Bucks.
You can get out, Giannis, if you're losing to the Wizards.
Yeah, I think that's a ticket out of town there.
I get it.
He shoots, get this, Tony, he shoots 64% from the field this year. That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
For any player.
We got to stretch it a few more minutes here as we get to about 3:16.
I would say start 3:18, but I would say start
3:18.
The Clippers conversation, because this was crazy. The first thing I saw this morning was this whole Clippers thing, and I thought of Chris immediately.
Because I don't like Chris Paul.
You don't.
So I should be happy that they embarrassed him and
before we
cut him off the team. But I'll be frank, I'm not happy with this move. I think this is really bad.
And
for a guy of his caliber to do this to him.
Hang on to that.
Yeah.
Because I think we can explore some other things first and hold that for next segment. Particularly Mr. Lane Kiffin. It seems like a lot of the things that he said in his press conference, the folks at Ole Miss are.
Wait a second. Tell everybody to sit down. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this out there. Pull to the side of the road.
Yeah. There were a bunch of claims that Lane Kiffin made that have been
torpedoed,
debunked.
Yeah, the guy just everything he basically said was a lie.
That's what,
according to most people,
that's what they're making it out to be right now.
So
he said that he wasn't aware that he wasn't going to get to coach his team until the morning of,
and they told him 2 months ago that if you leave, you're not going to get to coach your team.
So they kind of did know.
So
he said in his statement that most of the players wanted him to stay and coach, and a player immediately quote tweeted that and said, most of the players in that room will disagree.
Right. He said anybody there will tell you that's false.
Yeah.
So he's saying not only did I hear it, everyone heard that we did not beg him to stay. They were begging the assistants to stay because they wanted their position coaches. They did not care if he left.
Yeah, which tells you something, right?
But I mean, it just gives you more into Lane Kiffin. The guy's a liar, man. Come on.
The thing he doesn't do himself any favors by the way he's exited. Now, granted, all the exits haven't been his fault. Like he can't help being fired on the tarmac. Like there's nothing he can do about that. But kind of leaving Tennessee the way he left in the middle of the night, leaving this one.
According to Feinbaum, when he left Tennessee, on his way to the airport, he was calling players, begging them to come with him and leave with him. Like
that is crazy.
That's just what he's. This guy.
Isn't that what a college football coach is now?
Not everybody. Come on, no, I don't think so.
I mean, all of these guys are calling their players as soon as they go.
Aside from Sean Lewis, who else is not doing that? Aside from Sean.
Yeah, probably right.
They're all doing it. They
have to do it because that's how you keep up with the Joneses.
That's how you keep up with the Joneses. And this goes back to our point on Monday. The NCAA could do themselves a whole lot of favors. They probably get in some good graces just by simply changing the timeline in which you can hire a coach.
That's it.
It's just that simple.
Just change it.
Change it. We won't have this discussion, at least at the level that we're having it right now. All right, we got to get the break. On the other side, we get into the Clippers are coming back to their real, true selves.
Tony's excited about this. I just put it together.
We are going to talk about
this is Clippers. This is the history of the Clippers is revisiting us now.
Okay.
We are going to talk about it on the other side. We're going to Christmas of traffic.
From the 8-5.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to, being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates. And then, however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Yeah. Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres. And so I was in on some Zoom calls, to start that process. And then AJ we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it, and he goes, well, I think I got you at the top of the list. And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
Yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager. But it's also exciting to prove people who I really am and what I stand for, and maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable. So you've done it before. It's fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, that feeling of what I was as a player, when's my next workout, when's my next throwing session, that constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back right away. And it was I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23. Family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates, and then however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Yeah, man.
To continue with here, 3:24 is the time. I'm Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Mr. Skraby. We're going to talk about Chris Paul, the future Hall of Fame player. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. But the way the Clippers did him today, receiving a lot of criticism around the league.
As they should.
Yeah. I just don't get this. Apparently, like, he's not playing much. They're not winning. This is his last year. It's kind of at the end of the bench. Clippers are trying to make some excuses now. They're trying to say, well, he and Tyronn Lue didn't talk. Doesn't sound like anybody in that organization talks. Kawhi Leonard doesn't apparently talk to too many people either, we're finding out. But to be on a road trip and just tell the guy you're gone and, basically send him home, such a classless move. But I guess that's that organization. I thought with Ballmer was different, Tony, but this is not different.
Sometimes, and I think Ballmer seems like one of these guys, unless it's the Kawhi Leonard deal or Paul George, it doesn't seem like he's involved all the time. This seems like this is straight at Lawrence Frank, who is
the GM. He is a disaster.
President of basketball operations. It's the same Lawrence Frank that came in under Doc Rivers, who somehow got the, I'm assuming it's the year of Steve Ballmer, and got the job over Doc Rivers, then fired Doc Rivers.
Thanks for bringing me in,
right.
Doc.
Then on top of that, he's also credited with trading Shea Gilgeous to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
He didn't just trade him.
Along with
they traded like every first-round pick they'll ever have.
Right.
Yeah.
Clippers still eating off of that, or still drafting players off of that.
The player they got back, by the way, was Paul George, who's no longer a Clipper.
He's now in Philly.
Right.
And so here's the thing that I think is irritating about this situation. It's not irritating. It actually kind of it brings me joy in some way to have the Clippers being talked about like they used to be talked about.
Yes, this would not have been a surprise many years ago.
This was right up their alley back in the day. They had turned a corner and had looked like they were ascending. They've dropped back down. And here's the thing that I think is troublesome. Chris Paul throughout, at least I'm not even in basketball circles, but the one thing you know about Chris Paul is he's going to be vocal and he's going to challenge teammates, coaches, front offices if he deems necessary
to be better.
And you knew that. It's everywhere he's gone, no matter whether you like Chris Paul or you dislike him, he has made every organization better than they were when he got there. We're talking OKC. He went there. They sent him there to basically rot. Next thing you know, OKC is making the playoffs. He goes to San Antonio. They end up like just missing the playoffs, and they had no business really being there. And it's been like that his whole career. So to sign a guy like that, understanding it's the last year of his, it's like a farewell tour, basically. Yeah. They didn't seem to like him challenging some of the things he saw. Clearly, there's a lot to challenge there. They're underperforming, and that includes Ty Lue. They apparently weren't on talking terms, and they say it was becoming a distraction. I think it's just a scapegoat, really. This team is woefully underperforming where they were expected to be. This was supposed to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference.
They took Denver to the 7th game of the first round last year. It was a hell of a game. They got eliminated, but with Kawhi.
Denver also was probably the
Denver almost beat OKC. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how close the Clippers might have been last year. I hated to hear, if you want to hear more about the Clippers and people, berating them, Stephen A. Smith had one of his, top-notch ones today. Yeah. But in it, he included Kawhi. And I don't want to hear it because I love Kawhi and I try to turn the deaf ear to this. But the fact of the matter is Kawhi's hurt. He's not the kind of guy, at least according to this rant, who's really around much. He doesn't really converse with anybody. He doesn't talk to guys. He's not friends with anybody on the organization or the team. I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is what was said. But Stephen A. Smith called him the worst superstar in sports. Might be a little harsh.
To be fair, Stephen A. has always had a
thing for Kawhi?
A thing for Kawhi.
Okay, good.
And so
because I don't want to believe any of this because I like Kawhi, a great deal.
It's not to say, and listening to the dudes who have played with him, he clearly mixes it up. Now, I don't know that Kawhi's ever been the type of superstar that
not a mouth. He doesn't talk a lot.
He doesn't even want to be in front of the camera.
He didn't talk when he was here.
And guess what? You knew that also when you went out and signed him to the long deal.
Yeah.
So why are you trying to act like this is, that's Stephen A's thing. That's not really what this is about. But Lawrence Franks has brought the Clippers to the front page for all the wrong reasons.
Does Chris Paul now just have to slink embarrassingly into a retirement? Does he try to latch on with one last team here before, you know what I mean? This is a really uncomfortable spot for him to be in.
That's the thing, is that you thought the Clippers was a good spot because that was the guy who helped elevate their organization away from the nonsense that it was known for.
Yes, he was one of the first guys there that made them legit.
And I think this is part of the reason, and that all happened because David Stern vetoed the trade to the Lakers. It would have turned his career in a completely different way, but that's neither here or there. That's the disappointing part about this, is because, as I said, whether you like Chris Paul or not, he certainly deserves to be able to go out the way that it appeared that he was going to be. He wasn't asking for a ton of minutes. He just wanted to be a part of the team. And you seem to not be able to deal with, everything that comes with that. And I think it's just one. The tough part for Chris is there has to be a fit somewhere where he's not a distraction.
I'll tell you where I'd go if I was him. I'd call OKC again and say, give me the 12th spot. Let me just sit down there and watch these guys play.
I think it
be a
would
good way to go out.
I mean, that's the thing. It's going to be, I hope he gets to land someplace where he can finish it out the way he wants. I really do.
Yeah. Bad move by the Clippers. They look really bad on this one.
I think Steve Ballmer has looked bad all year. I mean, there's been
you go back to the Kawhi thing.
Year for old Ballmer.
Has not.
I don't know that it's hurt his
him.
pockets, but certainly from an optics standpoint, it hasn't been good.
Yeah, he's really making me look good because I was the one that went, hey, we got to get Ballmer to own the Padres.
Well, that was a good idea before.
I still think, despite all of that,
you still like that idea?
Okay, he got a lot of money,
and
he likes to spin. He wants to win. We can deal with the other
he
stuff.
Wants to spend, he likes to win, but I don't like it when owners get on the field with the microphone and jump around and cheer.
I could do without that part too.
Here we go. Bye.
Like, it was cool the first couple times we saw him. I'd go, but then afterwards, all right, man, that's enough. You're making too much money to be.
I think if he owns a team, you can just have him sit up with you and Jesse, and he can wave the star whenever a good play. He'd love that.
He would love that.
He would love that.
He may even invest in a sturdy star.
He might give you a star that really works.
As I
Tony
said, I think he would still be a good fit.
Okay. All right, a little break here. We got Sports Court. Oh, goodness. Just what I need, a wig today. On Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods.
Order! We got Sports Court, 3:38 on the clock. TG.
Can you imagine the judge readjusting his wig up there? Hang on. Got to get my wig adjusted. Okay. Bailiff, you may proceed.
I'm sorry. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Sello, and Matt Skraby with the spectacles on. 3:39 on the clock. We got a Sports Court coming your way. Do we have some traffic?
We do have some traffic. Sports Court today is only one sports story. So We may need.
So it's just court today.
It's court, but there is one sports story that has to do with Little League that I think is going to be fun.
Okay.
But first, before we go to traffic, Tony, this hour is brought to you by Mission Fed. From first accounts to big life moments, Mission Fed can help. Saving shouldn't be stressful. Mission Fed makes it easier with great rates on savings certificates and ultra money market accounts. Grow your money the smart way. Check the latest rates and open an account at missionfed.com. Membership and account criteria apply.
I think if anybody's watching on YouTube right now, my headset is stuck in my wig.
It is. I'm looking at it right now.
I cannot get it out of there.
Okay, let's go to traffic and see if Chris can fix it.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a few problems here. Northbound 5 at Carmel Valley Road. Collision over to the right shoulder. A couple vehicles involved. Also an accident on the Camino del Norte on-ramp to northbound 15. And reports about crash involving a couple vehicles on the Bradley Avenue off-ramp, northbound 67. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Do you have a sports issue, San Diego? Do you need a third party to make a decision? The guys have put on their robes and picked up their gavels.
All rise. Here comes the judge.
Gwynn and Chris Sports Court starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're going to get into it here in just a second. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. Joseph says, I want Skraby to wear a wig too. We have determined that only the judges get the wigs.
No, we have not determined that. We have determined, Joseph, if you'd like to send a wig in,
Right, we only got
on
2.
Skraby.
Nate was the one who sent
That's
us
right.
the
Well,
wigs
Joseph
back in
can
the
get
day.
in on it.
All right, let's get started. And what is it, Wednesday? So Chris is up first here. And this one is kind of crazy. I found this on Reddit. All of these were from Reddit, actually. I am on my Little Leagues board, and mostly we just make decisions that don't carry much weight. But we had an incident which got the board into a huge argument. I am not the president, but the president is one of those guys who doesn't have a kid on any team, but somehow is the president.
My favorites.
Yes, we are in a small town. Here's the thing. During a game between 12-year-olds, a pitcher hit 3 kids with a pitch in the first 3 innings. I don't think it was on purpose. The mom of one of the kids hit by a pitch went nuts, started screaming the pitcher is trying to hurt her kid. Her son was also the opposing pitcher. When that original kid came up to bat, the mom screamed, "Throw it at him!"
Oh, my Lord.
So her kid did and hit the kid in the head. All hell broke loose. And long story short, the president is the only one not in favor of banning the mom and her kid from this Little League.
The guy with no kids?
The guy with no kids. So he said it was too heavy-handed of a punishment. He thinks that should be shorter than a lifetime ban. Chris, you're up first. Does this qualify for a lifetime ban from our Little League?
Yes, everybody out of my courtroom. I'm going to lunch. That was the easiest one of the year.
What?
Get this lady out of here,
Oh, okay.
please.
All
Go
right.
play in another league if you don't like this. If you don't like our ruling, I hate parents. You drive
Oh,
me
my
crazy.
gosh.
You just do. Sorry,
Um,
can't put up with that stuff.
So I think the question is lifetime ban.
and again, these are what 12-year-old kids.
This was a 12-year-old game.
Yeah, lifetime ban. The kids are only going to be in Little League for another couple of years.
Let's say
You're not going to try to get them back in Little League
next year.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So get her out of here.
Before I play devil's advocate, Tony, what is your decision?
She's got to go.
The mother.
Got to go.
What about the kid?
No.
Both?
I'm gonna assume the kid.
Well, the kid's going to go with her.
He's probably
He's not going to
gonna
play in a league that she can't come to the game.
I think she's got to go. I'm assuming that the kid took directions from his mother when he was like, "Throw at him."
He's like, okay.
Yeah, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to do, Mom. I'm glad you're giving me the okay to do it. And then, thankfully, I assume that the young man who got hit in the head is okay.
It didn't say anything about injuries.
So thankfully, anytime a baseball hits a kid in the head, you don't know what can happen.
Yeah, true.
And the fact, here's the other thing. And I get that everybody wasn't as privileged as me to be around baseball my whole life to kind of understand how it works. However, if you are freaking out because your child got hit in baseball, when you might not should attend those games.
Yeah. Well, why don't you put him in football? See how that goes for you. Or go into basketball where I don't protect the players and don't call any fouls.
My mom and dad came to many of my games, little league, high school, and I'm sure there were things that they didn't like that made them uncomfortable. But there was a rule that my parents, and it wasn't my rule, it was their own rule. They never said a word at a game. In fact, they tried to be as far away from the action
if they would
as
have,
possible.
If they would have said a word, like if your dad stood up and yelled something, it would have been on whatever that year's version of TMZ was.
That's so true.
For sure.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
And so, the going off, and I get it. You don't want to see your child get hit, but you do know that in sports, those type of things happen.
Especially with 12-year-olds.
Especially with non-professionals.
Some parents just are totally oblivious.
and
they
then
think
the
their
fact
kid
that-
is the world revolves around their child,
The
and
fact
that's
that
how
you
it needs to
egged
go.
on your son throwing at another kid, I think is ridiculous. I think that sets you up to be kicked out for lifetime.
I had a parent the other day yell from the basketball stands at their own kid to play better, work harder, whatever it was. It took everything I had not to stop the game and make a big deal out of it, but I didn't do that. But I can't deal with that stuff
I
at
don't
all.
begrudge a parent for getting lost every once in a while and maybe yelling something they shouldn't yell, because it happens to the best of us, right?
All right.
But I can tell you that it doesn't work. It does not work. It does not work. You yelling at your kid in the middle of the game only causes it to get worse.
Yes. All right, lifetime ban, and get that president out
You
of
don't
there.
want to play devil's advocate
Yeah,
no
where's
more?
your devil's
You
advocate?
guys kind of already played it. It was going to be, do you think the mom should be banned, but the kid gets to stay in?
Listen, I'm not opposed to the kid being able to continue to play. I think his actions were fast forwarded by his mom.
Do you think a 12-year-old is old enough to make a decision between right and wrong? Or do you think he could claim, hey, my mom told me to do it. I do what my mom says.
I do know that a 12-year-old can get lost in the emotion of a mom that was already
going at him.
Even before that, when he got hit.
Yeah. She
Throw
was
it
screaming.
at him.
Right. She was screaming. And
Did
making a
any of the
scene.
people around
he said
react?
all hell broke loose, so there might have been some moms trying to
I
go
didn't
at
say
him.
anything about that, but I imagine not benches clearing, but parents
Listen,
clearing the benches.
My wife might be embarrassed if I tell this story, but I'm gonna tell her. One time, my youngest daughter, who is a really good athlete, kind of clipped a girl accidentally, just playing hard. And after the game, the father said something to her, something along the lines of
Keep an eye on your kid.
dirty little girl or something like
Whoa.
that. And my wife, I wasn't there. I was told about this later. Had to be restrained from going after this dude. I'm glad that somebody was there to catch her, because she doesn't need to be facing off against
But
another
I
man
get
either.
why.
But those are the type of things you don't say. You don't talk to somebody else's kid like that. So I imagine if a parent was yelling that, hit him,
Yeah.
that's gonna cause some ruckus.
I would like to go, and it's never going to happen. The simpler days of my little league youth, when my parents and their friends sat up in the
And
stands,
just drank.
probably drank out of a flask, barely knew the game was going on.
Right.
My mom, we had the Beverly Hills thing, so there were some parents that were known. My mom wanted to try to, cozy up to them, and
She wanted to keep up with the Joneses.
right, to keep up with the Jones. And when the game was over, you had to go up in the stands and go, Mom, can we go? The game's over. I didn't even know.
That was the day.
Yeah.
See, that
Be
was
way
also,
better.
Our parents hadn't really connected the dots of,
Right.
my son could now become a
Major
League Baseball player.
No, they didn't care. They just wanted to go schmooze and drink.
You know what? I will say the last thing on this.
Yeah, we got two more.
Last thing on it. That was the era of kind of you're playing sports to get the actual life lessons out of them. You're not actually playing to become a professional one day.
Yeah, that's not
Not where we are anymore. No more. I mean, I think people have actually forgot that sports actually has a lot of these lessons that help you in life.
A lot of things have been forgotten.
Touche.
All right, next one. This one is about a travel situation this guy got in over the Thanksgiving break. I was traveling home from Thanksgiving, and as I was getting on the plane, I looked to see who may be sitting next to me. I see an empty seat next to a really attractive 30-something-year-old woman. Hoping it was my seat, I said in my head, please be my seat, please be my seat, please be my seat. It was my seat.
This is on Reddit?
Yeah. I sat down and was not being creepy at all. I didn't even gauge conversation until the plane door was closed. I just made small talk, and she put in her earbuds, and I kept to myself. We land, and I asked her if she lives here, and she did, and I wanted to ask her out, but I didn't. However, Cupid must have been watching because I was beating myself up waiting for my luggage, but then she was there. I took the chance and went up to her and asked her out.
The old luggage meeting.
She seemed okay with it. But here's the problem. She handed me her business card, which is totally fine. The problem is when I called the number, it went to a front desk of the company. I freaked out and hung up, and now I'm in my head. Does the business card mean she didn't want me to contact her? Wouldn't she have just given me her cell phone number? What would you guys do, Tony?
Oh, listen, man.
If I was this guy,
shooters shoot. And so, therefore, I don't care if it's the front desk, leave a message. That's going to at least show that
you're making an effort.
You're making an effort here. Maybe it was a test. I'm gonna give him the office number, see what happens. Maybe he hangs up that, hey, it wasn't meant to be. Maybe he leaves a message and I'll call him back. I'm just saying, man, shoot or shoot.
I mean, she did give you the instructions to reach out to her work.
Take your shot.
I could totally see how myself in this situation would be like, she gave me her work number. She doesn't want to talk to me.
Disagree.
Okay.
I think your cell number may seem a little too personal, even though
I thought about
this. You just met this dude on a plane.
I thought about this.
Give the work number, and
but then they know where you work.
And she's a lady. Yeah, but there's clearly there's a front desk and all that stuff.
I'm sitting here to tell the guy, take your shot, but I'm somebody who just did not take my shot so many times in my life, and I kick. My wife better not be listening. I kick my not in the last since I've been married, but before I was married, like, what was I doing? Why not? Got nothing, I'd be in the same spot now as I would have anyway. Makes me mad that I passed up on opportunities.
All right, we're getting a couple things in here. She gave the work number to hide it from her cell phone. Boyfriend in play. I don't know about that.
That's nefarious.
There we go.
Why wouldn't she just?
I mean, typically girls don't have problems saying I got a man, especially if they're not interested.
Oh, totally.
I mean, even if they don't have a man, they'll say they got a man if they're not interested.
Kayla says, "Take your shot, but don't be too pushy."
Always don't be too
I mean,
pushy.
you can only be so pushy on an answer machine. I mean, you leave it a message through the front desk.
As a woman, OMG, I would hate it if someone tried to ask me out at the airport.
Where is a better place to ask?
There is no better place.
I mean,
if you're meeting the person in the airport.
There's no way I could have asked somebody out at the airport after speaking with them for less than 3 minutes on a plane ride.
They put their earbuds in.
Right. I could have never done it ever.
I have an experience.
I might have
with
thought
this.
about, wow, I wish I asked it, but I never would have done
I have experience with this because when I was traveling back in the day before radio, I was also a drunk. I was sitting next to a girl and we started talking and then we started drinking and I thought everything was cool. She gave me a number and it was to a pizza place.
Yeah.
So
well, at least it wasn't an
cool.
800 number, so you had hope for a little while.
It was a pizza place. So I ordered a pizza and cried into my pizza that night, but
sorry to hear
I don't think people really want to be contacted at the airport. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird place to.
All right, last one. Thanksgiving situation here. I'm newly married and my wife and I live about 5 hours by car from our families. We decided to stay in town and head to a friend's house for the night. We were excited and my wife asked what she could bring. Thinking it was an appetizer or something, she received a text back saying, quote, "If you want to give us $80 for both of you, that should cover everything," end quote. Wait, we have to pay to go to Thanksgiving? I don't mind contributing to the meal, but in every situation like this in my life, the host is the one who is picking up the bulk of the cost.
It's called Thanksgiving.
They are inviting people to their house. So Chris is up
Chris.
first. Do you think charging us $40 each is wrong?
Are you a human being? Like, who does that?
A lot of people do this.
They really
I don't know
tell
that-
me they do.
I've encountered people that want
they
money
have
for stuff.
parties
Yeah.
at their house. They
Yeah.
invite people, and the people have to bring money?
Yeah.
Come on.
Chris,
Well, I don't
in
believe
this
it,
day and age,
so.
money is tough to come by. So if people are struggling, getting people together, pool all your money. So you're thinking this is wrong. Tony, do you think charging $40 is wrong?
Yes. On Thanksgiving? Yes. I think that's crazy. That's crazy.
If you can't afford to host a party, then don't host
them. Don't invite people over. That was a slick way to do it too, by the way. Somebody offered, hey, can I bring something by? Yeah, you could just send $80. What?
They are making money on this Thanksgiving because if let's say they tell that to like 5 people, that's $400, and then they're just pocketing the rest of the money after they buy the food.
I don't know how
These all
popular.
sound like good friends.
This is bad. I don't know how popular this is going to be, but I don't care to go to a wedding and then you bring me out there for a money dance either. Sorry.
A money dance?
Where they go out and you got.
You're supposed to pin money on there while they're dancing.
I haven't seen that.
Well,
I've heard of
you
it.
will one day, and you won't like it.
All right, well, I'm just going to put a
It's
dollar
like, leave
bill.
me in my seat.
You know what I like to do when people push me to donate? I give them the least amount possible. Chris versus the fans next, 833-288-0973.
Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby. I think some of the Orsillo throat tea is having maybe an effect. I don't know. Skraby, no.
I think it's getting a little bit
A
better.
little better. I hope so. First free agent.
That throat is coated.
That's right. Throat coat. If you're looking for some. First free agent signing of the winter. Cedric Mullins, center fielder.
That's not true.
Well, first one this week. Then.
I was going to say Dylan Cease was signed last week.
Oh, yeah. Right. I put that one out of my mind. Cedric Mullins, 1-year deal. The baseball team that is less than 5 letters in its nickname that you couldn't name yesterday.
The Rays.
The Rays. Miguel Rojas, who hit the heroic home run for the Dodgers in the World Series. 1 year, Dodgers.
What? No money involved?
They put it.
Who
up
signed
there
with the Dodgers?
Miguel Rojas staying.
I mean, if you hit a game-tying home run in the World Series,
I bet you probably got about.
Gives you a year.
Yeah, at least a year.
Okay. Good for him.
He can still play defense too. That's a big part.
He plays a few positions.
Yeah.
He's a valuable guy. Real quick before we go to Chris versus the fans, this was my favorite thing I heard today, guys. I've held on to it for 2 hours. I wanted to share it. We all know that Miami Hurricanes football, getting completely hosed out of the playoff at the moment by Notre Dame, despite the fact that those on the committee last night, by the way, said though neither team plays this weekend, it could switch next week. And I'm like, what? How are they going to
real quick,
give us that?
Joe Clack kind of broke it down. Who does Texas A&M play?
Nobody. They're out of it.
Texas Tech. Somebody's playing.
Texas Tech is playing BYU.
So if BYU loses or wins,
then Texas Tech becomes an at-large.
It looks, and they're not going to fall far enough.
So they could push Notre Dame out.
They push Notre Dame out.
But I don't know how Miami can get in over Notre Dame.
But he was also saying that because he basically brought the point that if it ends up being a Notre Dame versus Miami on paper,
right?
He doesn't like Notre Dame's chances based off of.
Well, he shouldn't like them, but why? They've been ahead of them the whole time.
And I think the what is it? The committee is tipping their hand by saying that, like, hey, I know we're catching a lot of flack right now.
Yeah, but we reserve the right.
Week.
So maybe they're listening to all of the criticism. Anyway,
they're getting crushed everywhere.
Yes, they are. But that's not the best thing I heard today. It has to do with that. Apparently, the ACC is taking no chances. And Thursday night through Friday afternoon, for 24 consecutive hours, the ACC network is going to be replaying the Miami Notre Dame game.
I just keep.
They're going to play it over and over and over and over and over again.
It is awesome.
I love that.
I do love that.
That
too.
is petty and petty.
I love
right
trolling
there.
like that.
Yes, ACC Network says if you don't believe it, you better watch it, and we're going to show it to you until you change your mind.
Running it.
There you go. All right, Scrab, but we're into
the
Chris versus the fans.
We have a new prize on the other side, and Tony doesn't think that my pronunciation is going to work. So hold on.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
New prize alert, new prize alert, new prize alert. If you win Chris versus the fans, you will be qualified for a shot at the grand prize, 2 tickets to NKOTB or New Kids on the Block in Las Vegas on June 26th.
Don't say like that was a good.
Have you heard NTKOTB or whatever it is?
No
one's heard of
I've
that.
heard of New Kids on the Block.
Right, which is probably what you should be calling them.
All right, everybody in the chat, if you've ever heard NTOKB, let me know.
That's not what it was.
NKOTB.
Try again.
NKOTB. You will win 2 tickets to them in Las Vegas on June 26th, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and a $100 gas card if you're calling all blockheads, New Kids on the Block. I didn't know they called their fans blockheads, but I love it. Just announced 2026 dates for their Right Stuff Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Don't miss all your favorite hits live in Vegas with NKOTB. With it's written, Tony, February through October 2026. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
So everything has to be like, we can't just say New Kids on the Block. You gotta.
Yes.
Can you
Unfortunately, yes.
Can you name a New Kid on the Block?
Oh, we
just went through this. So
we did this?
Yeah. Well, I looked and I was like, "There's no way Mark Wahlberg is going to be in this
He wasn't in it. Donnie Wahlberg was in it.
Yeah, but Donnie Wahlberg is still in it.
Well, okay.
Wait, Mark Wahlberg wasn't in it?
Yeah, he was a past member for a very short time. Apparently,
He found his
yes,
niche.
he went on to other things.
He found his niche.
Donnie never got away from it.
All right. Well, you will be winning or qualifying for that spot. The rules: you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know. Before you get into it, you'll get that question for free today. Let's go to our first contestant, Hector. Hello, Hector.
Good afternoon, Carlos. Good afternoon.
Good
Welcome
afternoon.
to the show, Hector. Here we go.
Hello, Hector.
First question. Which former Texans QB QB could potentially return to the Browns this season?
Can you cut out? What former Texas QB? What? I'm sorry.
Former Texans, Houston Texans QB could return for the Browns this year.
Watson.
Correct.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it in the Big Five.
You are correct, Dr. Watson.
Yes.
You are correct.
Now they have like 9 quarterbacks that they can play. They have so many.
Question number 2. Oh, this is a throwback here. Matt Leinart played in the NFL for 3 teams.
Oh boy.
Name 2 of 3.
Man, I know the Cardinals for sure.
Cardinals, he says.
Cardinals.
And darn it, who else did he play with?
You can also pass.
Shoot. I should have passed and I said a team. That's what I messed up. All right. Dang it. I'll pass. Go ahead.
All right. He passes.
Well, the good news for you is I only know 1, and the 1 was the Cardinals. So
That's
you
why
need to
I
help
was
me.
encouraging the pass.
Yeah. How do I only get 1 more guess? Right? I got to get.
You get
it's
2 guesses, but
Well,
unless
but I've
you're gonna
already used 1.
You're going to use that.
I've used Cardinals, so I got to get this right. Bengals. Yeah.
He does seem like he played for the Bengals, but he didn't.
I don't know. I don't know.
Houston.
Did he
That's
do
because
anything?
Carson Palmer, who was also an SC treasurer, played
maybe.
for the Bengals.
Oh, yes.
Did he do anything for? Well, he didn't do much for the Cardinals, but
he didn't do much for
anybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, the Texans, who I just finished talking about,
Okay.
and the Raiders.
Get out of here! Really? He played for them.
I don't know how many
I remember
snaps he took.
I don't think he took any snaps. He might have taken a few.
The credible thing, he's just one of those guys that I don't understand. I know USC had superior talent, but he was unstoppable.
He was unbelievable.
So how could you go from that good to not even barely be able to complete a pass?
I think he could have benefited from today's NFL for sure. There's less reading and anticipating because they kind of set up the offenses to kind of just one read, boom.
And that's one of the greatest college teams in history.
It is.
His
That is.
USC team for 3-4 years there.
He only
All right.
played 2 games with the Raiders, and he didn't start either of those
Oh,
games.
that was okay. Well, good for you, Hector. You're still alive.
On to question number 3.
Yeah.
How about a Padre question? Tony Gwynn Sr. has
Heard of him?
played the most games in a Padre uniform. Who has the second spot?
Second most games played by a Padre. That's a good question, I think.
Thank you.
I like
I'm gonna say Manny Machado. I have no clue, but that's my best guess.
Machado.
Manuel
He has
Machado.
played a ton of games.
Not enough.
Stay there, Hector.
I'm going to just take a wild guess, and because I think I used to know it, but I don't know if it's been replaced. I think it was Gary Templeton back in the day.
Smooth
But I don't
operator.
know if he's been passed.
He has not been passed.
Sorry, Hector.
Sorry.
GT, the
Gary Templeton,
original.
huh?
Yep,
Yes.
Gary Templeton, number
we,
2.
We don't have a number, but he's number 2.
I bet you Manny's getting up there.
He has
He
to.
is.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
Question.
Sorry about that,
Contest,
Hector. This
contest.
is one of those ones that's stuck in my
Hey,
head.
if you've never played the game before, we got a few lines open. 833-288-0973. Tell us your first-time player.
That just means Skraby's waiting to call your name because there's clearly some
No,
contestants.
I'll go to our salsa guy, John from Temecula.
Oh,
Hey,
John.
salsa John.
Good looking out on the salsa again, my friend.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed, man.
Salsa's
I
probably the
enjoyed the
last thing I
salsa.
need today.
And the jelly.
You know what's
my
funny?
my
Is
favorite.
salsa good for a bad throat? I can't
I don't
imagine.
know, but I got to give you your salsa. It's still sitting in my pantry because you weren't here last week, so I took it home for you.
He's been eating out of your.
No, I haven't opened it. I haven't opened it. Over Thanksgiving, my brother-in-law was like, I want to try some of this salsa. I'm like, dude, it's spicy.
Oh.
And he was like, no, I can handle it. And he took like 3 bites and he was like, no, this is spicy. This is spicy. John, do you get excited when people are like, wow, this is hot?
Yeah, man, I do. Because, I mean, I make the bland stuff. I gave Adam a jar of the mild because I don't know Adam at all, really.
He's a lightweight.
Except
You
for
did
calling
right.
in.
No, he
And
did
I
Titanic.
figured, okay, I can't mess up with that. And I gave medium to most people. And I knew Paulie wanted to try the hot. And him and his wife liked it. But yeah, I know you can handle it, Skraby, and it is fun when people are like, "Oh yeah, I can handle that. Let me try that," and then whoops, it's fun.
He was not having fun after those 3 chips.
It's pretty unfair to say this because you shouldn't judge a book by the cover, but Adam looks like a mild salsa guy.
But he's
sorry,
not,
Adam.
though.
Sorry.
He loves spicy food.
Okay,
does look like
but
a
he looks
mild
like a
guy.
mild, guy.
He
That's
does
all.
look like a mild sauce.
That's fair.
I'm
All right.
sorry, Adam.
Well, next year I'll get Adam some spicier ones. It's always a thank you for all the fun that you guys give all of us, not just to me. And then there's a couple guys at the station that help support Palomar baseball in different ways, you know. So
That's awesome.
and I'm a
Very
booster. I'm a former baseball guy, so that's why I always do this for you guys, and you're special to me. And you're welcome, and thanks for another good year of fun on the radio. You know.
Thank you so much,
And
John.
today's winner, John.
Real quick, Adam just texted me. He said, "I want the ghost pepper, or at least hot. Mild is weak."
Wow.
Oh, listen to him
Adam.
popping on.
I believe him.
Well,
Better be able to
Adam
back
will
it
tell
up.
you that the flavor is definitely fantastic, but
It is.
I'll be down to the station again soon,
Yes.
and I'll bring Adam a little something. You know, apparently he can hear me.
I like it.
Good.
Yeah,
All
John. I told John he could come in one day and,
We'd
and
love
hang
to.
out with the
We'd
show.
love to
so
have you, John. Here we go. First question.
Everybody's like, "Can you get to the game and stop talking salsa?"
Baker Mayfield was drafted by what team?
Cleveland Browns.
He was indeed.
Another smart
There's
quarterback,
a quarterback
selection.
question. It's usually Cleveland Browns.
Right.
Tim
Question.
Couch.
Yeah.
That's so many. Manziel too, right?
Tim Couch out of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Question number 2. LeBron James has played the most games among active NBA players. Which recent newsmaker is number 2?
Recent newsmaker, as in today.
It could be.
Could be.
Oh, okay. I'll take that as a hint and go with Chris Paul.
That away,
There
John.
you go.
That's what you get for the free salsa right there.
Question number 3. This is a good one right here. I love how Skraby is already putting the blame elsewhere on this question.
Oh,
According to
thank you.
Wikipedia,
Yes, thank you.
which NBA arena has the highest capacity?
Yeah, that's a shot in the dark.
Oh, boy. Okay. We'll go with... Boy, dude, man. The Knicks still play at Madison Square Garden?
They do.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to go with MSG. I have no idea.
He's going with the Garden.
The Garden is a tough one.
Stay there, John.
Hello.
Yes. This is like, I don't know. I'm going to go the Bulls. I don't know. United Center. Oh, man.
John,
I just guessed it's my
sorry.
team.
You gotta be kidding.
Is this my team? I knew it was a big arena. I didn't know it was a big arena.
John, because he just robbed you of that prize.
He's gonna steal back my salsa.
Just mention your salsa name before you go.
Oh, okay. It's Mr. Lane, Lanes, Mr. Lane's Roasty.
Okay.
For the Y. Mr. Lane's Roasty. Thank you for the plug. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
Sorry,
John.
Adam.
Appreciate it. Happy holidays, John.
Adam also texted me he wants to do a ghost pepper challenge on the air. It's happening.
Ooh.
It's happening.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely put this camera in your face, Adam.
I'll do the ghost pepper
be careful
challenge
what you
too.
wish for, Adam, because you just got it.
Do you want to do this again, dude?
I did the
You did the 10 Thai food that we.
That's what Adam ate with ease.
That we deemed less than 10.
We did. My fault. I
you
bought
guys
it.
keep taking this away from me.
I'm just saying.
just
and then
there
you
was
didn't wanna-
something.
and then you didn't want to redo the challenge, though. After we
Of course I didn't. I already did it.
but it wasn't legit, though.
That is not my fault.
I mean, if you want to be considered a legit, winner, you got to do legit things. You had like a tie 5, and what was it? What was a tie and an American? You had American 5, right?
No, I had a tie 10.
No,
Chris
I
ordered tie 10.
I ordered Thai 10.
Yeah.
They said it was 10, but it didn't
think-
feel hot enough.
I think they took one look at Chris and was like, I don't think he can handle this, not knowing it was for somebody else.
I don't know what happened. But anyway, I give you credit, Skraby.
I'm not giving you credit. He should have been walking out of here sweating.
I was. Did you see? I spit like into the trash can. I was like drooling into the trash can.
You do that normally.
I forgot about the spitting into the trash can. That was next
man.
level.
All right, we're off the clock for sure now.
No, we gotta get to 418.
We're there,
Boom.
but
Let's
we still have to play.
We don't have a winner yet.
Oh, we sure don't.
Let's go to Jason.
Hi, Jason.
This is a tiebreaker.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, Jason.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Afternoon. All right.
Tiebreaker, right? It's
Sure.
418.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow because I just was looking him up. So
Joe
we're gonna do tiebreaker, Jason, and I'm going to ask Chris for a number. He's gonna give me a number. You're gonna guess whether or not the actual number is higher or lower than what Chris said. Joe Burrow is our player. Chris, how many touchdowns has he thrown for in his career?
How many years is he?
Let's see.
He's had a lot of injuries too,
4,
though.
5, 6. This is his 6th.
No
season.
way. I would
Yeah,
have said
2020 was his
3.
first year.
Things happen quick.
They really do.
Well, he's got to be over a hundo, but he missed a lot. 110.
110
That's a
career
lot.
touchdowns. It is a lot.
I'm gonna go
Jason?
100. I'm changing 100.
100. Jason, is the actual answer higher or lower than 100?
How many years did he play again?
6.
I would say under.
Under.
Ooh.
He was way over.
Really?
144.
And they throw a lot of touchdowns now.
Hey,
That's
All
a
right.
lot.
Sorry, Jason. Let's go
Sorry,
to our
Jason.
next contestant. We'll go to Neil. Hello, Neil.
Neil.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, sir.
Sorry about the pronunciation of your name. Neil. All right, Chris. How many interceptions has he thrown in his career? 6 seasons. Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I think he's got a 4-to-1 ratio. So 72, 35.
35 interceptions. Neil, is the actual answer higher or lower?
I'll go lower.
You'll go lower. Sorry, Neil.
Man.
He had some moments where he's given 2 or 3.
46.
All right. 46.
All
Keep
right.
going.
Got to keep going. Apparently,
If we have to take part of the Chronicles, we're going.
This one hasn't been screened yet, but Roger is the name.
Hello, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Hello.
Here he is. He's ready.
All right, stay right there, Roger. I'm gonna have to get a new player in just a second, but here's how we'll do this. How many rushing yards does he have in his career? Joe
wow.
Burrow.
This might
in
be the
6
hardest of all of
seasons.
them.
Yeah.
He takes off every now and again.
Every now and again.
Just got to 1,000 yard. Oh, wow. 6 years. That's over 100 a year. It'd be
No
600. All right. 500.
500 yards. Roger,
500.
is the answer
Tony
higher or
likes to
lower?
say.
The actual answer.
Over.
Over.
You are the winner! Stay there, Roger. You were close. 817 career
See,
rushing
Tony,
yards.
1,000 wasn't that bad.
He went
wasn't.
142,
It wasn't.
118, 257, 88, 201 rushing yards, and then 11 this year.
817 for Joe. Cool.
Oh, all right.
All right.
That was tough.
All right,
There's our winner.
we are
Let's-
way late for a break, so let's do that.
Let's get the break on the other side. Oh, this is you, Chris. Go ahead.
Well, on
Chris.
the other side.
We'll just
It's gonna
have
be a
another.
quick-
We'll probably have another break.
Yeah. Well, don't tell them that. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about something on the other side. Here's
Well, if we
traffic.
don't get to it, we won't.
I'll just keep sitting here. No.
From the 855, get
duty,
Short
having a little conversation with important people outside the office. Got a couple minutes, Tony. Short, as I mentioned. I know you wanted to talk about it as well. So, passing today of a former NBA champ and Laker, Eldon Campbell.
Yeah,
and only 57. That's what I hate to see. Star player at Clemson, drafted by the Lake Show, first round in 1990. Those were the 2 years I covered the team, 89 and 90.
Out of Clemson.
And so I didn't know Eldon too well. He was he's joining a championship team, so there wasn't a lot of playing time for him then. But ended up averaging 10 points a game in his career. Solid player. And born in Los Angeles and passes today at the age of 57. So quite saddened by that.
Yeah.
He did win an NBA title as a member of the Pistons team.
Ironically,
that
against
beat
the Lakers.
Yeah. Back in, what was that, 03 or 04? Something like that. But
He
really,
actually,
I hate to see stuff like that.
yeah, no, it was sad. Obviously, Eldon Campbell was a guy on that Lakers team when I was a young lad, really falling in love with them. And he actually had his career year the year he was traded to Charlotte. He had his best year the following year after being traded away from Lakers. But it was sad to see that today. It was
He averaged double figures pretty much throughout his career, always
Yeah.
15 points, something like that. Big center. And what I recall about Eldon is his rookie year in the 91 final against the Bulls. At the end of the series, the Lakers had a couple of big injuries. I think Worthy couldn't play.
And Magic couldn't play.
Byron Scott, whoever it was, Magic. But Eldon Campbell started like one of those last games and played great.
Yeah.
And kept them in the game. Game that the Bulls.
You know what
would
I
end up-
remember about Eldon?
But-
Is he never fouled anybody in his life.
According to him.
According to him.
Well, you know who he learned that from?
Who's that?
Kareem. Yeah, he came up under Kareem. Kareem never fouled anyone either. So I bet you that's where Eldon got that
Yeah,
from.
that was sad news to see this morning. I think I saw it from actually Cedric Sabalos had posted it. And still no word out on what the cause of death was, but nonetheless sad.
57, far too soon.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, we have ourselves a big five.
You will never believe what John Fisher said at the owner of the A's.
By the way,
at the groundbreaking yesterday.
Did you see the makeup of their stadium?
Yeah, I saw. They can build a model. Let's see them build the actual
okay. So
stadium.
You don't think the stadium's going to look like the model?
Nothing that guy has his hands in. I think that there's
Fair
going to be
enough.
cost problems, and he's going to be like, ditch the roof.
What's
We're
gonna
playing outside?
Let them play at 115.
What's going to win out, John Fisher or Las Vegas? I mean, Las Vegas does things up.
That's Las
They
Vegas. is gonna win
do,
out.
but John Fisher, I think, is already focused on the wrong thing, and I'll tell you why.
All right. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Gwynn and Chris on the
Baby Chronicles coming up at 6 this evening. We'll have a good hour of entertainment for you there. Or
Yes.
will you have a good hour?
Oh no, I had a great hour last night.
I don't want to Lane Kiffin your introduction here. And
No, it's all good.
You
You were
lying
able to
to
get through it
everybody.
yesterday?
Yeah, I actually had more to talk about than I thought. A lot of it surrounded around Devin Williams and his contract of 3 years, $51 million. And I asked the question, he had his worst year of his career. How does he get paid like all-star closer?
I mean, look at his worst year of his career, though. Like, look at the
18
number.
saves, 4-point
He
something
wasn't,
ERA.
he wasn't closing all year long.
He wasn't. You're right.
No, he
but
lost his
the
job.
job.
Yeah.
But you know what? They don't rate it off of last year. Look at Dylan Cease. They rate it after
Fantastic
for
point.
all of your,
And,
they take
and
into
the
account.
same goes for a guy who's done nothing and then has a big year. They get penalized as much. Teams aren't willing to. That's why you see a dude sign a 1-year deal after a phenomenal last season, whereas other seasons were good. Teams, they want to see it multiple
I don't know that I think that happens as much as the other, though. Because I do recall guys that are come out of nowhere.
Name them.
Name him,
Name
Chris. He's on my side. I should help him.
Yeah,
help me.
Both of y'all,
What are you looking for?
I'm looking
Guys
for a
who-
mediocre player who
Right.
has one great year and then signs for a lot of money. 'Cause
Oh, my
people
gosh.
say he
In
figured it
base-
out.
in baseball. In
Yeah.
baseball.
Mediocre year? I was going to say Anthony Rendon.
He said he was
No,
mediocre
no, no.
and then had a phenomenal year.
Anthony
going,
Rendon.
Mediocre. Go look at his numbers, bro.
He was
Okay, what
pretty
I'm
good.
saying is after he signed his contract.
That's not what he's saying.
Okay, I'm not understanding.
Okay, so
I'm saying there's a normal player who's kind of a bench guy, 10th man. 1 year, he hits 40 home runs, drives in
Gotcha.
100.
Okay.
Now he's a free agent,
Okay.
and somebody pays him for the 40 home runs, not for the
I don't even
10th
know
man
how to,
that he was.
I don't even know how to.
It's hard to look
that
that
up.
up.
that's
but-
part of the reason why I said
Yeah,
name
right. You're
him.
good. Yeah. I won't be able to find one, but by golly, it exists, Tony.
Fair enough.
All right, let's-
Tyler has a good one.
Who we got?
Profar.
yeah, he made a little more money than he had been. Not bad.
Time out.
Thank you,
Time out.
Tyler.
The 1 year that he had really good. He had a 1-year offer to the Rockies, and then he went there. He got released, and then he did it again. The last year he was with the Padres.
But the Braves paid him for that one great year, not for the previous Profar.
And I will say that Profar, when he did play last year, he wasn't bad.
He didn't do bad
He was
last year.
good.
Had a pretty
Yeah.
good season. Yeah,
So-
it was just we didn't hear
Okay,
much about
I
it.
give you Profar.
Thank you.
Yes.
You
We
said
got
name
one.
one, and I didn't name any, but Tyler
Yeah.
Good,
All right,
good
let's
job.
I
quit
just
while
got
we're
text Profar too.
let's quit while we're ahead, Skraby. Do traffic and then Big Five.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans. Collision has cleared on southbound 163 near Washington Street, but now reports of a crash on the Genesee on-ramp to northbound 163. Looks like a couple vehicles involved. They're over the right shoulder. Arrow Drive on-ramp to South 15, a collision. Also, East 52's been hit with an accident just past Santo Road. Hit and run situation there. It's over the right shoulder. Northbound 67 Bradley off-ramp, a collision. And looks like tow truck is still helping to clear this crash. North 67 near Vigilante. Camino del Norte on-ramp to northbound 15. Accident blocking the left lane.
My mom, my dad, works for Caltrans. On the freeway, right next to speeding cars. Please be careful. Flashing lights mean move over. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only,
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
the Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we have to get into this, and I teased that there was going to be some major controversy with John Fisher and the A's, and then I kind of vetted it with the guys, and they don't think
Number 5.
it's that big of a deal at all. But
He
here
still
it
has
is.
to use it because he already teased it.
Yeah, I did. I shouldn't have done it. I thought that was a great tease too. But John Fisher obviously is moving the team to Las Vegas. He himself has moved to Las Vegas, and so one of the reporters in town, Nick Walters, asked John Fisher to tell him what he's learned about the Valley this year.
And you know, I just moved here a couple of months ago with my wife, and we have sort of felt that, you know, that hospitality from people who are, you know, reaching out. The sense of neighborhoods here and being, you know, wanting to take care of each other and to make Vegas, you know, more and more of a wonderful place to live is something that I've really noticed. And the love of sports, you know, even with no baseball in Las Vegas, when you go and you meet with people, you hear about how much they love the Dodgers, how much they love the A's, how much they love the Mets, the Red Sox. You know, it goes on and on and on.
All right, there's that part that I was looking for, which he mentions the Dodgers first over his own team. Come on, you got to mention your own team first.
Well, but there's nobody in Las Vegas who likes his current team. So
No, he said he's been talking to people. They like the A's. My thing is that he is so focused on the rest of baseball that he's not focused on his team. So my question, Chris, is he too focused on the rest of baseball?
I don't.
Because
I'm not trying to argue with you. I don't
know.
understand your question.
Remember when he opened up the stadium in Sacramento and he said, I can't wait to have Aaron Judge hitting home runs over the fence here. He wants...
So you think he should be promoting his own team and he's promoting the rest of baseball?
He promotes all of baseball. He doesn't promote his own team.
All right, so ask the question again now that I understand it.
I don't even know what the question is. Does John Fisher need to start promoting his own team more?
No.
Okay, why?
Oh, you want explanation? First of all, where did they find John Fisher? I've never heard him speak. I don't know what he looks
Well,
like.
he spent the last few years in
Yeah,
Oakland running.
right.
He didn't run trying
Right?
to stop.
I mean, I've never even seen this guy. So how did they get an interview with him? He said what every owner of a new franchise says, right?
It's not new.
Well, a new franchise to Las Vegas is new.
Yeah, but
So he's saying everybody here loves baseball. He's trying to, make sure they know they like baseball, whether they do or not. So this is normal, I think.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what really caught your ire on this. I understand that
It wasn't
you want
ire.
What was
It was like, dude, you don't get it.
What? He doesn't have a team in Vegas right now.
I know,
They
but
They literally play are a part of another city right now,
And
and they're
how
going to be
does-
a part of another city for I think the next 2 years, 28.
Yeah, 2 years.
So
2 years.
It's kind of weird to be promoting your team and they're playing in Sacramento right now for the next 2 years.
I think he's banking more on people traveling into town from other teams.
I don't
to
think
watch.
it's any of that. I think the people that he has come across, because Vegas is
melting pot,
a hub of other people coming there. I think that's why the people he's come across have been Dodger fans, A's fans, whoever else he mentioned,
Red Sox,
and I think he was just. I don't think it had anything to do with him.
I would think most of the people you meet in Las Vegas, you meet on the strip somewhere, they are from out of town. The
For
people
sure.
that live in Las Vegas don't go there in general.
But how much can you bank on people flying in to watch your games? Don't you want to capture the home
I don't
audience?
think I mean, John Fisher seems stupid, but he can't be stupid enough to think that he's going to sell all his tickets to people traveling to the city.
My thing is he should be promoting heavily his own team. And I know this was just one clip, but this tells you exactly what he's been doing.
All right.
I'm going to move on because you
Yeah,
guys don't
you should.
understand
We're not getting
it
this.
whatsoever.
Number 4.
Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders may not have that long to prove he deserves to be the team's long-term starter going forward because Deshaun Watson, today the Browns announced he was designated to return to practice. And with this move, Deshaun's only 30, by the way. He now has 21 days to prove he's healthy enough to be activated. If he passes that test, Watson can join the Browns at any point in that window. Things could be trending in that direction, especially after Watson was spotted throwing at practice today. Tony, does Deshaun Watson play his next down for the Browns?
I don't think so. I mean, they already jumped out the window and signed him to the fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah.
When no one else seemed like they would be willing to do that. And they've had to endure the criticism that has come with every poor throw, every retorn Achilles. Like, at this point, I would think it'd be silly to running back out there. I do.
You've already moved towards the future.
It's not worth it at this point to take all of the arrows that will be coming at you. Find out what you got in Shedeur, and if it's not what you think it needs to be, you can reset. Your team is bad. You get another high pick. Go from there.
Chris, do you think Deshaun Watson plays his next down for the Browns?
I think what I said yesterday, that the Dolphins might have the worst organization in football, is just flat out wrong.
Yes, it is. We've been telling you this for weeks.
Yeah, the Browns are so pathetically bad. Why they even are connected to Deshaun Watson is beyond me. So absolutely, I don't want anywhere near the field. I don't want him ever like in a practice uniform where they can show highlights of him wearing my helmet on ESPN.
Well,
that's how much I don't want the guy around.
You will be seeing those highlights tonight.
That's too bad.
It happened.
All right.
Number 3.
All right, we've talked about this a couple times this year, but over the weekend, a Texans PAT was questionable as to whether or not the ball went over the upright with enough going over to determine if the kick was good or not. So Mike Florio is on the case, and he has some suggestions on how to fix it. 1, put a wireless camera with a wide-angle lens at the top of each upright. It's cheap. It can be done easily. 2, install a thin beam atop each upright that would be activated before every kick. It would create a simulated extension of the apparatus.
It goes to the heavens.
Sky.
Yes,
Right.
yes, allowing replay review to decide. 3rd, use the existing array of Hawkeye cameras in the same way it's currently employed for virtual measurements. Multiple readers from this is from Florio, other side of the Atlantic Ocean, have pointed out that Hurling has developed a system for doing exactly what the NFL needs, a way to triangulate the location of the ball in order to determine whether the kick was or wasn't successful.
All right.
Chris, does the NFL need to fix this issue?
First of all, what happens in the sport of hurling? That's something I did in college when I
Curling?
drank too much.
Hurling.
Oh,
Something I did when I was in college and I drank too much.
I think
Where's Chris? He's outside hurling.
Is it throwing logs?
I don't know what it is.
Hurling. Yes, I've seen this before when I went to Ireland. It's kind of like, it's a little like field hockey, but you don't hit the ball on the ground.
All right.
It's like lacrosse field hockey.
You know, I don't agree with Florio on anything, but put the beams at the top there. How hard would that be? That kick was not good.
I agree.
I looked at it as many times as I could, and it decided the game because instead of being up by 4, they should have been up by 3, which means the Colts could have tied it with a field goal. It changed the whole outcome of that game. I don't think you can afford to miss those. And these kickers do kick it way over the top of those posts now. So, yeah, I think you got to do it. Something.
I think you have to do it before this Super Bowl.
I think you got to do it this week. We'll wait around.
Because games are going to be cost, or we're going to see a game go
That was
the
a
other way
big deal.
because
I
of
mean,
it.
Houston is now back in the race. Indy's lead is back tied.
Yep.
Right? That's a 2-game swing.
It was.
On that one extra point, maybe.
Tony, does the NFL need to fix this?
yes. Put the beams, as Chris said, straight up. I think, whether we're talking about that particular kick or all the other things they've got a lot of things going on in stadiums that are interfering with kicks and how it's going.
There's wires.
Right. They need to get their act together.
I mean, there was I hate doing this because Skraby, has to play his song, but there was a playoff game in the 60s, the Colts and the Packers.
Full sense of security over there.
I want you to look it up someday. Colts, Packers, overtime, playoff. Vince Lombardi's Packers, right? They end up going on to win the championship again, but they won on a field goal or tied the game, I think, on a field goal, got it to overtime. That was 10 feet wide. Like if you see the video, it's like not even a question. So, but in the 60s, you could understand they don't have the technology,
right.
But we have it now.
Yeah,
we definitely have it now.
for sure.
I still don't even understand why they're using the ball measuring virtual. Anyway, I'm going to have to move on because my brain just almost exploded.
Number 2.
Our favorite thing has happened. An anonymous executive making claims about a professional athlete. This time, it's against Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. ESPN reported the anonymous executive from the East said, quote, the combination of pain in the ass, injury prone, not that good anymore, and big contract is a bad one. He also added that he wouldn't want Morant on his roster regardless of salary. Went on to say Morant is only 26, but some talent evaluators around the league believe that his best years have already passed. Those skeptics compare Morant to, sorry guys that you're involved in this, Derrick Rose and John Wall. Smaller guys who relied heavily on spectacular athleticism that was sapped by injury, shortening their stints as superstars, end quote. That is from the anonymous East executive. Tony, if you were an NBA GM and this version of Ja Morant was available, would you bring him in?
Yes. Because as I said, Ja Morant is 25 years old. And he's got some growing up to do. Listen, I have said he needs to grow up and he needs to be more professional. But what I can't stand for are these NBA execs that are anonymous. And I assume partly anonymous because you might have to trade for him at some point and have him on your team.
Or because you forgot to draft Ja Morant.
Right. I hate that. Like, I am not a fan of GMs because these are all executives that have a say in whether this guy ends up on their roster, are popping off but don't want to put their name on it. You know, I think that's malarkey. But I would bring him on. I think Josh, to me, when you watch him, he seems like he doesn't want to be there. And that just could mean a change of scenery. We've seen athletes all the time get out of a place they're unhappy and then, get back to what they were. But he's got some growing up to do. Whether it happens in Memphis or not, I'm not sure. But, yeah, if I was a GM, I'd take a chance on him. At that age, heck yeah.
Chris, would you take a chance on Ja Morant if you're an NBA GM?
My normal answer here is no. I can, pass because he's got too much baggage. But on this one, I agree with Tony. I think there's a way to, help this guy grow up a little bit, surround him with the right people. And he hasn't proven to me yet that he can't get the job done. Because when he was doing it a couple of years ago, pretty much unstoppable.
He was, before
much unstoppable.
Before the whole he's hiding to have guns in social media, he was the face along with who else was along with Ant. It was those two guys.
And Zion. I've seen Zion.
Yeah. And so,
I'm not giving up on Ja yet if he's able to grow up, and I would, for the right price.
Not even for the right price. I just think that once the clock hits 26, 27, it's going to be like, ding, ding.
I think the Bulls, I always think of my team, but they need a star player.
They could use that.
I would take a shot there.
Number one.
All right, quickly. Ole Miss defensive tackle John Seaton put out a TikTok today, referencing nobody in particular. It's on the YouTube if you would like to see it later. But
he's from Ole Miss?
Yes, he's an Ole Miss defensive tackle.
So he wouldn't be having anything to do with, what is it?
Oh, you'll see.
Archie Manning or something like that?
Here's his
he went to Ole Miss.
Here's his TikTok about this whole situation.
All right, guys, bring it up. Great job this year. Amazing season. The best we've ever had. Moving forward to next year. Oh, that's me. Hold on. Hello? Bye. What's up, man? How we living? You said how much? All right, guys. You know what? I mean, you understand, right?
And he just walks off, throws the hat on the ground, and made a pretty funny video.
Fair for him to do, I think.
I think it's fair for him to do as well, but...
He's a player?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was on the team.
I don't have a problem with it.
My question, Chris.
Yes.
Do you think Lane Kiffin cares at all?
No. I don't think Lane Kiffin can do all the crap he does if he cared. If he actually thought a lot of it through, I think he would catch himself.
It's hard to put us in his head, but yeah.
And now the new stories today, basically, that everything he said to us and he said to your guy, what is it, Marty Davis or Marty Smith?
Oh, Marty Smith, yeah.
He's a liar. Lane Kiffin's a liar on top of everything else.
So many thoughts to this.
I know you defend him more.
I'm not defending him on this one, but so many thoughts.
Do we need to carry over?
Yeah, we can carry over.
Okay, carry over.
Hopefully I can remember these thoughts.
Okay, write them down right now.
He's got them right now.
Write them down right now. We'll carry over with some of the more Lane Kiffin conversation. He probably just loves that. The entire country has been talking about him for like a week. More with Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan.
5 o'clock. I'm going to give you those thoughts that I didn't forget, only because Skraby wrote them down for me.
Teamwork.
Michael Flicks will join us 5:30-ish. Talk high school basketball. Kicked off, 2 weeks ago now, Chris? Week and a half?
I'd say a couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah, and so we are in the thick of it. Chris has got to ref some pretty talented kids early in the season, some good matchups. So we'll get to that at the bottom of the hour.
Our Chris vs. the Fans winner called in, and when I was getting his information, he said, hey, tell Chris that he reffed our game last week, and he did a really good job.
How about that?
So there you go. You're getting good reviews,
Good
Chris.
reviews, Chris.
Payment is on its way.
That's the thing, man. You know, your name is well known around the city now, so they're gonna know. Like, all eyes are gonna be on you when they recognize you.
I'm aware, but you said it correctly, Tony. When I ref, I slip into the background more than not.
Really?
That's my style. Not to make a
big
you said scene out of it.
Yes, I mean that's kind of a good.
That's
way to
good.
Go about it. You don't want to be the news. Yeah. Okay, my thoughts real quick.
I want the players to get the ink.
We were talking. What were we talking that last segment?
It was the player who did the video of Lane Kiffin on his
so I had a
TikTok.
couple questions, and I wasn't going to defend Lane. Are we okay if coaches start
when a player leaves
making TikTok videos when players bounce out?
I think we're okay with it, assuming most coaches won't know how to do it.
Right. And Skraby came with an actual pretty esteemed point here.
Thank you.
So they should be above the fray.
They have to be above the fray.
Coaches are leading and teaching these young men. They can't be stooping down to the level.
Yes, coaches are doing a great job of teaching young men what's important in the world.
They are. They set the trend on all of this.
Just go get as much money and as much power as you can.
And
that's the lesson out there, people.
The other point was Chris mentioned that he didn't think Kiffin cared, which is why he went and got the money. And it brought me back to something Chris said right after the baseball season, that at Mike Schilt's news that he retired, said he cared too much. Which is how you could leave the $4 million behind to go take less to.
Because when you go home, it actually eats at you.
At you.
When Lane Kiffin goes home, he goes, "What's for dinner?" Like, Lane, you just pissed off.
I'm hungry.
You just pissed off a whole state. Yeah, I know.
I built up an appetite.
Yeah, but I'm really
that.
hungry. Yeah, that took a lot of energy. Yeah. I think certain people can do it. I've had roommates and people that I grew up with that I almost marveled at, that they were just able to kind of carry on through the world as if nothing was happening.
Yeah.
I wanted some of that because I
no doubt
was the kind of carried a little too much and thought about stuff too much.
There's
something to be said for it.
There is a trade-off, though.
Yes,
I think
there is.
When you have the ability to just not care,
right?
You probably have that ability in all walks.
And you probably leave a lot of people upset with you because you don't really notice it.
For sure.
Lane.
I mean, he was like already kind of joking about the people that wanted to kill him at the Ole Miss airport. And he was talking about how it was so scary that people were booing him and giving him the finger, getting on the plane.
By the way,
and then how great it was when he got off the plane.
Skraby got the chance to hear the
Chris, it is brutal.
I told you
it was violent.
I told you.
I
What do you
had
think it's
an
gonna be
idea,
like?
but I did not know.
Like, how much
if I had-
security is he going to need when he runs on the field next year?
He's going to need a ton.
all
I would
those
not have
troopers
been
around him.
surprised with the type of vitriol that was coming that somebody could have done something a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how angry those people were as he was running to that.
People take it
running to
pretty
that
personally.
plane. Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
people also don't like that he just was like, I have no idea what I'm getting paid. I just told my agent to.
I don't think they had
And
heard
that's
that
just
part.
tell me
and
numbers.
that's
They
just no
hadn't
way
heard
that's
that.
true.
They hadn't heard that part.
They hadn't heard that yet,
that's
but
true.
we've now
Because he
all
had-
heard it. We've all now heard it, and we know.
Oh wow. So where do we go from here?
We're
fellas?
gonna go to Joe Musgrove. Sorry, my brain just malfunctioned. We're at that point in the year where all of our brains are starting to malfunction a little bit.
You gonna throw us in there too?
At least my brain is
Okay,
starting to
all right.
malfunction a little bit.
Starting to, you say.
You did kind of run into that one.
All right, fine.
We did have Joe on. We didn't have Joe. Ben and Woods had Joe on this morning, and they kind of cornered him. And Joe is an open book. That's the best part about Joe. He'll join any one of these shows anytime. We caught him on the way to a wedding a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they did ask him about the ownership stuff. Is it a distraction for him at all?
I don't know that it affects me a whole lot as a player. Obviously there's desires that you have as a player. You want an owner that's willing to spend money and put a good product on the field and take care of people in the organization and do the things that the best organizations do. But as a player, you have such a small time in the game that regardless of what scenario I'm in, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to win because this is the only chance I have. There's a lot of what ifs and things you can, hope for, but this is the reality of what I have and the time that I'm playing, and I got to make the most of it. And I think a lot of guys in the clubhouse have the same approach when it comes to, who owns the team. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we would love to see happen, but that's out of our control. And you still have to go out and try to compete with who you got on your team and how the organization's run. So I think that's more how you view it as a player.
That's how you have to view it. Players that are totally concerned and consumed by all of this aren't doing their job in terms of getting themselves ready to play. And that's, you can like have a thought about it, I think, as Joe was kind of alluding to, but if your focus is on that, like every day, like, man, who's going to own the team? Man, I wonder who's going to own the team. Like, baseball's too hard to have your focus on things that you can't control at all. And
one of the things you've taught me and us listening over the last several years is that we as fans or media people think about the game completely different than the thought processes going on in the locker room. And I try to keep that in mind now.
Yeah. I mean,
the players they're always worried about something different.
Because we are, not only are we day to day, but we also can go back. Like, we can think about the yesterday's game and how it didn't go the right way. If tomorrow comes as a player and it gets to 105, 205, you're at the park and you pull up and you still are thinking about
stewing about it
yesterday, your day is done. You will not be able to mentally pull yourself together to do that part of getting yourself ready to play the game.
So you think it's bad that I show up at my softball game on Wednesday and I remember my last at bat 3 weeks ago?
100%.
Yeah. But I do. I do.
It's not a good thing for you.
Yeah.
To have your mind thinking of the last negative thing that happened to you.
Yes, I don't remember my last hit. I remember my last pop-up.
I thought the last thing you did at softball was get kicked out of the game.
Oh, hello.
That might have been the last time.
Hello.
Hey.
You did get kicked out.
That was my last game. I have not been back since.
So and you said that basically that you would not see me again.
Taking a hiatus.
Well, it's good though, because now you're doing big time referee stuff now. When's your next game?
Tomorrow. I'll be at I don't like to say where, but it's a good girls tournament. Ooh. So if you know about there's a really good girls tournament every year, and it's tomorrow. I got 2 games up there tomorrow night.
Good for you.
Lovely.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Hey, I can't ask any more questions. Aztecs in action tonight. We talked about it earlier. Was Utah Valley, right?
Yeah.
The Wolves, the Wolverines.
It
was interesting. We talked about it at the beginning of the show and things that Brian Dutcher and his staff are trying to figure out. But I like almost everything Dutcher does. There's a reason he's successful. But here's what he did yesterday, Tony. He showed his guys film, not of this season, not of them playing. He showed film of the 2023 team that went to the Final Four and ultimately the championship game. But he did not show film from the NCAA tournament run of that team. He showed this team film of that team. Am I confusing you yet?
Yes.
He showed this year's team film of the 2023 team.
Okay.
Losing early in that season and not playing great. And that year, that 2023 team also played Troy and only beat them by 2 or 3 points. They beat UC Irvine that year by a last-second three-pointer.
That's right.
They lost 2 games in the Hawaii tournament. They went and played St. Mary's early that year and got
Arizona,
whipped.
And they lost to somebody else.
Arkansas. The Sauce. They blew the game. Lamont Butler dropped the ball or something.
That's right.
But he showed them film of those struggles to say that team struggled.
And that went to a national
and
championship.
It turned out okay.
Yeah.
I like this. This is what Dutcher is, so good at. These are little, games that coaches play, but they work.
For sure.
As a player, you say, hey, look, man, I want to be part of something like that. We're capable of doing that. We just got to get our act together.
It's a reminder that even these talented athletes at the collegiate level need those reminders sometimes.
Yeah.
They need an example to look at that was better than, or an example that they aspire to be like in some ways, right? So I would not surprise Dutch was able to kind of put something together and get these guys motivated. Hopefully.
And I also got to credit our guy Ziegler because he knew about it. Like, reporters aren't always supposed to know all that stuff.
He's got a pretty good rapport.
He's got a good handle on that team, and it's really is a great job. As somebody who's covered teams before, I can tell you we are lucky to have Ziegler on that beat.
All right, let's get to break. We've got no traffic, so you won't get that just yet.
Yep, at the end.
But we do have some more Joe Musgrove. Get some of that more on the other side.
Yeah, everything's feeling good, man. I mean, the year of not throwing competitively, did a lot of good for my body. I feel like I addressed a lot of little issues that I had that had been lingering, and the arm's feeling good. I'm back throwing, lifting, on a normal off-season progression.
You recognize that voice. Joe Musgrove. May not recognize this one quite as much, but I have to say, Don Orsillo, money with the throat coat tee. I mean, we're at the end of the show, and you got to say it's better than it was at the beginning of the show.
Better.
Right?
Way better.
So, Don Orsillo, if you're out there, thank you very much. Well done. I think the listeners appreciate it, too.
I just want to say,
I was screeching at the beginning.
Don Orsillo had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, Tony.
Tony brought it in, though.
TP.
Tony said he was going to bring it in, and he did.
And I remembered to bring him in.
We're grateful.
Did you set a reminder in your phone?
I did not. You know what happened?
Wow.
Did you just happen to bump into it by accident?
I literally walked out of my garage door 4 different times. It went back in and brought out 4 different things. And on the 3rd time, I think I was like, oh, man, I'm supposed to bring Christo's
very good
throat coats.
We don't care just how many, Tony. You did it.
You can see me though going in and out of the door.
Oh yeah, I've done that a million times, and I'm like, and then you go back inside. You're like, what did I come inside for? I have no idea.
Do you?
Literally done that.
I open the garage door, get in the car, start the car, and then I remember I forgot something. As I'm walking in the house, it always cracks my mind.
Yep.
Really easy to steal my car right now. 100%. I hope nobody's walking by at this moment.
I pulled my car out.
What I should do is stop the car, take the keys, and do it, but I don't do that.
I get out the car. I've left the car door wide open.
Yeah. Just come on in.
We've talked about this before, but I do a lot of 7-Eleven shopping, as you guys know. And 7-Eleven people.
How's your gut?
I'm not eating as much 7-Eleven lately.
Okay, just making sure.
But people leave their cars on while they go inside the store. And I've told you guys, I want to get into someone's car one day and then move it a couple parking spots.
I got a great story real quick. I took, I think it was Jordan. We went on her recruit trip out to Rhode Island. And we were kind of seeing the city. And we had a rental car. And the rental car happened to be like one of those everyday cars. Everybody was driving this bad boy.
Yep.
So we get out, we're walking on the beach, and we're coming back, and we get into the car, and it took about 10 seconds.
Oh no!
I was like, "Yo, this
don't look right.
I don't think this is the car."
But you got in.
I know, door closed, seatbelt on.
Yeah.
The only thing I hadn't done was reach in my pocket to put the car keys in yet.
Yeah.
And as I realized it, and I opened the door, my wife is in the car too. My Jordan's in the car. We all realized it at the same. We start to open, and my man, whose car it was,
came out.
Is starting to walk towards us.
Oh boy!
And then I think he heard me say, "Oh my gosh, this is not our car." And I think he kind of put the brakes on, because I could only imagine what he was thinking as he saw me
Look
get
who
out
these
the car.
3 out-of-towners.
I've done that before.
Stealing
literally
my car.
in the car.
Yeah, I've done it. I'm like, man, this car is really clean. Oh wait, this is not my car.
But that's to your point. People leave their doors open, and this was on the beach, like
it should have been.
It's not
locked.
at a house.
It's not like it's at 7-Eleven where you're running inside real quick. I
100%.
don't get those people who do that. I'm so concerned someone will
We
steal.
also are quick to blame others for our mistakes. And on the same line of thinking, if you go into Costco or somewhere for a while, come out and walk up and down the aisle a couple times and realize you're not quite sure where you always also think, who stole my car? It can never be your mistake.
It just goes through. That's the first thought that comes to your mind.
And you'll laugh at this one, Tony. When I was at the Aztec practice a couple weeks ago, they have that parking structure right next to the
Viejas?
shooting.
Yeah.
Not Viejas, across the street from Viejas. It's 2 stories, and the top story and the bottom story are identical.
Yeah.
I parked my car on the top. When I got out, I was talking, didn't pay attention, and I walked into the bottom. I went right to where my car was.
No
car, and I flipped for at least 10 seconds because it had to be there, but it wasn't. It was on the upper deck, thankfully.
Yeah. I think
Brain
we've all done
cramps.
that. I think we've
Brain
all done it.
cramps.
Didn't you leave your keys on the ground or something one time?
No, I left my keys in Portland. And
Oh,
my
that's
wife had to come
right.
pick me up at 1 a.m.
That's right.
So you've lost your passport, or you
He didn't
forgot
lose
your
it, he
passport.
forgot it, yeah.
If you travel as much as we do, come on, you would have little
I
errors
traveled
like this.
I was a United Platinum member. I traveled so much for like 4 years. I know what traveling is all about. Okay?
United Platinum member,
One
huh?
time, and I even screenshotted this, but I came home from Ireland and there was a big snowstorm in Philadelphia, only one flight left to the West Coast. And I put myself on that standby, and I was the number one because I was such a good member of
You're
United.
platinum.
So I was drunk at the time, and I walked by all the people in line. I go, "That's me," and just such a jerk because all those people,
What a jerk.
all those people had to stay in Philly for like 3 days. If
Oh,
I didn't get on that plane, I was stuck.
They were dog cussing you underneath their breath.
Well, they're like, "Who's this drunk guy who's at the
That's
top of
me!"
the list?" That's me. I'm right here.
People have been waiting at the airport for 2 days and you
Seriously
yelling.
Seriously.
Oh, wow. You're something else.
That was drunk me.
Drunk you.
I'm not drunk anymore.
I don't know that we should go back to Joe Musgrove now after that interruption.
Okay.
I feel bad.
I'm actually going to play some of the Joe Musgrove on the Skraby show because I want to get into some of the other
He
things
needs help getting through his hours.
I didn't say that, but it's
That's
true.
basically what he said. Basically what he said.
No, I love hearing from Joe.
You should. This hour brought to you by Mission Fed. Did we do that yet?
No.
No.
Let's do that. From first accounts to big life moments, Mission Fed can help. Saving shouldn't be stressful. Mission Fed makes it easier with great rates on savings, certificates, and ultra money market accounts. Grow your money the smart way. Check the latest rates and open an account at missionfed.com. Membership and account criteria apply. I just realized, you guys think that my neighbor Ryan, I mentioned this guy a lot. He lives nearby. I see him all the time walking the dog. Good sports fan, listens to the show sometimes. But he told me last night, he said in our conversation, he thinks when I'm home, all I do is watch sports. And he just assumes that to do this show, that's what I'm doing 24/7.
You're not doing that?
And I assured him, no. Well, that's why I
Liker
tape
of
the
sports
games.
over there.
Yeah, right. Barely a fan. But I tape the games I want to see, and I watch them in shorter time so that I can involve myself in other things. The same thing goes for when we're on the air. You'd think we're just totally raptured in what we're talking about. You know what I've been doing the last 5 minutes?
I can only imagine.
Let me guess.
I saw you locked it on your computer, so I
I'm
thought
locked
you were doing
in
something.
here.
Let me guess.
I'm not paying any attention to sports of any kind right now.
Tony, these lists come up quite often during the baseball season because we, record some stuff. And so we sit here and Chris is like, "Did you know the hamburger from Montana was the best hamburger?"
I remember that one.
No.
Okay. Is it hockey uniforms from 1972?
No, it's not silly. It's something I talked about yesterday. My show, the one I told everybody to watch, Pluribus. I thought tomorrow night was the last episode 6. So I was excited because of how it's going to all wrap up, and I can't wait. So I was looking into what it, maybe try to find some little sneak peeks here. And I've come to find out apparently that it's 9 episodes.
Oh, so you got a few more.
So there's 3 more after
I thought
tomorrow.
6 was kind of short.
Yeah. So, but Skraby, you're better on this than I am. The 6th episode has a name and a release date, title name.
Yeah.
The 7th, 8th, and 9th episodes just have release dates, but no title.
They probably don't want to give anything away.
Okay. That makes sense. But yes, apparently tomorrow night is not the last episode.
Doesn't that make you excited?
Yeah. I want to watch this as long as I can.
Do you think they can drag it out 3 more episodes?
I'm a little worried about that. Yeah. Because they're right at the point now where they're going to spill the big reveal in the episode tomorrow night.
They're gonna give the big reveal.
They
and then
have
have
to.
3 episodes to work with the big reveal.
Yeah, they're going to have to give the big reveal.
Okay.
Tomorrow in the episode 6.
All right.
Skraby needs to watch it. If somebody wants to loan him their Apple account for the night, he'd appreciate it.
I'm going to figure it out.
You're going to figure it out.
I will figure it out.
Because you're going to, Skraby, this show isn't made for you.
That's what people keep telling me.
Apocalyptic, science fiction, just believing and living in a world that is not really possible, but in your mind might be possible because you love that stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm going to figure it out.
This show is for you.
I'm going to figure it out for sure.
And for many of you out there, I think you should try it and see if you like it.
I've heard a lot about it.
Yes, it's got a lot of high ratings.
Yes, it does.
I will take a quick one. When we come back, AJ Cassavell.
Nope.
No.
You're Michael Flicks.
Oh, that's right. Michael's coming in. Talk high school. Yes, fired up about that. So fired up, I forgot about it. But it's next on Gwynn and Chris.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame, and then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you see your strengths being able to be applied to this ball club and how it may be of help?
Yeah, Mike had so much experience of organizing, how to be a great baseball team. He'd been mentored by many great managers, and he'd taken a lot from those guys. And I just listened to what he had to say about that stuff, and I saw how he did it, observing and listening to how he kind of went about his business. So a lot of the things that he did, I'm going to probably keep doing the same thing. What I think I can add is maybe just I'm a little younger. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I've got some relationships within the clubhouse that are maybe a little bit different. Does that give me the avenue to push them in a little bit different way or like sneak in there to get them to do a few things that they haven't been quite open to in the past, maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But, I'm going to treat them, with respect and hopefully get that respect back. And we're going to try to make this team as best they can be.
Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, you're clearly coming this with your eyes wide open with this situation. I heard you say partnering on multiple occasions up on the stand there. What does that look like for the fans who are listening and may not know what partnering looks like? What exactly is that?
Yeah, partnering, it's a give and a take. We have relationships with our families, our moms, our dads, our wives, our kids. It's not always my way or the highway.
Right.
There's got to be, even in this decision to become the manager, there was a lot of give and take with me and Audrey, deciding what was important to her and what we were going to miss by taking this, what was important to me, what I was going to miss in this, and then coming to a decision that works best for both of us. And I think those types of things can happen throughout the year with players, trying to get them on the field to do certain things in practice or in the game, but like partnering them in the way that's like, it's not just my decision.
Right.
We're in this together. We're accomplishing a goal together. It's not my, championship that we're going to win. It's our championship. It's the Padres championship. It's AJ's, it's John's, it's Eric's, it's Manny's, it's Toddy's.
Right.
It's all of ours together. It's Ruben's. We share that success together. I'll handle the blame, and then we'll do this together.
Last one, I'll let you get out of here. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Mike Schilt did a terrific job of really shielding his players. He always was the man taking all the arrows coming at the ball club. But you also mentioned being able to push the guys. What does that look like? Because I think oftentimes fans hear, managers take the arrows and they're under the impression that there isn't any, pushing going on the backside of that. What does that look like sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, we got great players. So, like, the amount of pushing I need to do is limited.
Right.
But we can give them new ideas on how to navigate a season. And Mike was so good at, like, handling the players and taking the arrows, like you said, in the media and throughout the season and pumping those guys up and making them feel great. But there's ways that, like, maybe they haven't been exposed to, and that's what we're going to challenge our staff to do is come up with creative ways to keep Manny Machado, healthy for a full season. Xander Bogaerts healthy for a full season as they get a little older in age, and can we have guys peaking at the right time and stuff like that? Just like open to new ideas and creative ideas, and the players will be partnering with that with the coaching staff to create something that we think will build us a championship team.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager, and Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year. Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff, and he was talking about what
tonight. Michael Flicks will join us here shortly. Before, though, we got some business to take care of. That's right. 5:34. 5:35 in 2 seconds. 5:35, today's biggest fan, Lance Suget. That's what I'm going to go with. It's Lance Suget of San Diego. Apologize if I'm butchering your name, Lance, but you got 10 minutes to give us a call, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for a grand prize. 20 tickets for you and your friends. A night in our Odyssey suite at a Padre game later on this year. Of course, all of the fan staff will be there. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Lance Suget. Now, we don't have traffic as of yet.
We'll do it as soon as it comes in.
Okay. So,
you want me to just do it?
No.
There's a little log jam at the 5805 merge.
Everybody out there,
Take
a
your
little
time.
log jam on the 5805.
His voice is getting better as we go along.
Yeah, and then like you said, it
goes in and out.
jumps back.
It goes in and out for sure.
Yeah.
All right. A much anticipated segment. We've been kind of teasing this for the last 2 weeks. Your camera there, Chris.
I just my camera wanted to look at you.
Now it's determined.
Now it wants to look at Michael. Stay.
We bring back Michael Flicks. He covered our high school basketball prep segment all last year. A lot of people enjoyed it. So, Michael, welcome back. Year number 2, man.
Thank you for having me back. I'm happy to be back, man. I had a lot of fun last year.
Did you get his mic going? Yeah, it's not going.
I hear him.
Well, you're sitting right next to him.
Say something, Michael.
Hello, I'm here.
I got it. It's in his ear.
Get out of here. All right.
That's your beat up. Did you cut the thing on your headphones when it got stuck in the wig earlier?
Maybe.
There's a log jam at the 805.
All right. High school basketball kicked off about 2 weeks ago. Last year, was it Montgomery?
Montgomery
was the team that won it all. You kind of highlighted them at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with kind of the top teams to kind of look out for this year in San Diego.
Francis Parker is looking like the best team in town this year. They've got there's only 2 guys in town with Division I offers, and Francis Parker has one of them. That's Tavid Lee Johnson. He's a junior. He's I'm not mistaken, had a couple of 30-point outings already. The Francis Parker, the whole team, they have a very complete team. Very, very complete team. They're well coached by Mason Biddle. Yeah, very, very well coached team. He's a great coach. They're looking like the top
Wait
team.
till I get a hold of those guys. They'll go down by 10.
Our resident referee over here.
Mission Bay. I got Mission Bay as either like the second or third team in town. Well, I got to say third then because Santa Fe Christian beat them in the holiday classic there at or the Thanksgiving classic there at Mission Bay. So yeah, it's right now it's Francis Parker, Santa Fe Christian, Mission Bay, San Marcos, and there's a few others that are like floating in my top 5 right now, but those 4 for sure I got at the top.
Compared to last year of the top 5, is it as solid as it was last year, or is there some moving pieces as we start the year in terms of some teams that could pop up and be in that top 5, top 4?
What do you mean? Like, you mean is it the same teams or just
no,
like?
I'm just saying it seemed pretty solid last year. The 4 that you had kind of stayed that way the whole season. Is it the same with this group?
Yeah, for the most part. Okay. For the most part, yes, for the most part. Like I said, those 4 teams. Cathedrals probably need to be mentioned in the top 5 to 6 teams. So yeah, it's pretty much those. Everyone knows pretty much those top teams right there. But surprisingly enough, like Montgomery, who won the championship last year,
they lost a lot of guys.
They lost their 4 leading scorers. And, you know, I thought, and I'm sure a lot of other people thought that they were going to kind of have a really, really rough year. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I ran into the coach during the offseason. It's like, how's everything going? Coach, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to have a rough one. I mean, he didn't say it in those words, but, you know, that was kind of the energy I got from him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that hasn't been the case. They've been playing some good basketball. They've got a couple wins against a couple top 5 teams, and they've been doing it with defense. So, yeah, Montgomery's been playing well to a few people's surprise.
I mentioned this the other day because we were talking about what's happening in the world of college coaching, but football, et cetera. We have so many good basketball coaches, and you know they're all the people that yell at me when I run up and down the floor. But I want them to understand I respect the hell out of a lot of these guys. You mentioned Montgomery,
yes,
Ed, right?
Yes,
he coaches his butt off down there.
He does.
You know, Hop, Marty Ellis, Olympian, you know, Madison. Steven, I think it is Steve. Anyway, these guys, they're dedicated to these kids and teaching them the right ways to play. And it's fun to watch them do games. Francis Parker's another one. And I know, and on the girls' side, I mentioned some too. But we have, do we have good coaches here? And what makes that fraternity good here? You know, it seems pretty deep and people that are really committed.
I think they all, not for the most part, they all 100% do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
They love basketball. They love the kids, and they all are competitive guys themselves. A lot of them played at a high level or coached at a different level, and now they're coaching high school, and they're all still competitive, and they want to leave their mark. And like for example, I on my sports show, I just interviewed Coach Marshawn from Mission Bay, and I asked him about that. I'm like, do you you know, there's a lot of coaches that are kind of legendary here in town, and do you feel like competitive? Like, do you want to like be mentioned with them or like kind of like surpass them? And he was like, no, I don't want to necessarily feel like I surpassed anybody. He's like, but like you said, those guys are legends. And so when I'm done, I want to have won a few championships and have left my mark like they did.
Coach Marshawn talked a little bit about having to change his style a little bit to fit the new
generation. He said this year is not going to yell at the refs. I can't believe I heard that from you, Marshawn, but say not going to yell at us.
That seems to be something that a lot of coaches have had to make an adjustment in the last, you know, if they've been coaching the last 5-10 years here.
Yeah, because it used to be, you know, kind of what I guess what a lot of us are probably used to, where like, you know, your coach, you do what your coach says and you don't really say much back, and you just kind of, that's what the coach said and that's what I'm going to do. That's not really the case anymore. I mean, it is. I'm not going to say the kids
to some extent.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not going to say the kids are not respectful, but it's not that just cut and dry anymore. That coaches kind of have to kind of capitulate to the kids and to the parents much more than they used to have to back in the day. But a lot of the coaches are, you know, they're happy to make that adjustment. And it seems like from what I see, the ones that make that adjustment, that have made that adjustment the best, have been the most successful. Yeah.
They also coach the game differently, Tony. Not just the relationship with the kids, but there was always a post player. Back in, 10 years ago, maybe 2 post players.
If you were lucky,
now, if you're reffing on the baseline, which, we were either on the baseline or you're out there. When you're the ref on the baseline, you're not really reffing anybody because all 5 players are out around the perimeter looking to drive. That's the game of basketball. In San Diego high school, they keep up with the game of basketball. That's kind of what we've seen a lot more of now.
For sure. But to that point, that's actually why I wanted to mention and shout out San Marcos. They've got their senior. He's about 6'6". Mike Brown. He's a big kid. He kind of looks like a tight end or a DN. He plays around the basket. He's skilled enough to play outside too, but he plays around the basket too. He's got good footwork. And the few games that I've seen him playing, the highlights that I've seen of him online, from what I've seen, nobody in San Diego can really handle him down there on the post. So they do have a bit like kind of like a traditional big man, but he does play outside on the perimeter as well too.
Now you are starting your rounds of getting around to see some different teams, players. It's been only 2 weeks. Who have you been able to see with your own eyes? Give us a couple players that you've seen with your own eyes that you want to highlight today.
At Mission Bay, I mean, of course, everyone knows how good he is. He's a Point Loma Nazarene commit, senior 6'8", Clay Grebbing from Mission Bay. I said his school already. He's playing well. Like, he's always been a good player for Marshawn. And it's funny, I was thinking about it after I left the game that they played against Vista. I remember him when he was a sophomore, and even last year as a junior. Really, like, especially more so as a sophomore, really like taking his lumps from Marshawn, getting yelled at a lot, like kind of looking frustrated. But you could see that it never. He was learning from. He was learning. He was like wanted to be one of those players that like had the responsibility. And now his senior year he does, and even more so because Caleb Newton, who he and Caleb were supposed to kind of lead them to a championship this year. Caleb, left like right at the beginning of the school year. So a lot of that, Clay Grebbing has been there really, really leading the team.
I think that's kind of the best part about high school sports, specifically basketball. When you're a young kid that makes a varsity team, you're going to take your lumps.
Yeah.
You're going to get yelled at quite a bit because there's a learning curve. But to see the kind of maturation kind of stages go through, I think that's one of the cool parts. We're going to get back to Michael Flick's Intersect, but first let's check some traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Still a few problems wrapping up our evening drive here, guys. We've got this crash on the coastline southbound 5 before the racetrack. Everything's been moved over to the right shoulder. Eastbound 78 before College, accident involving 2 or 3 vehicles there in the center divide. And southbound 5 before the 163, reports of a stalled vehicle. Looks like that's got the slow lane blocked. I'm Kelly Danek with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I continue with Michael Flicks, our weekly high school basketball roundtable a little bit here. I like to focus on the games. I like to focus on the kids. I like to focus on the players. But it's a different world a little bit outside that now. Is San Diego, CIF San Diego section, do they have any input? What is, if anything, being done or trying to be done about, keeping a lid on players going here, going there, moving, changing school? I know a lot of kids transferred out of San Diego, a lot of transferred into San Diego. Is there any desire? I know it's never going to go back to you just play where you grew up. I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But what kind of things are being talked about amongst coaches and the people in the county?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. I haven't really asked many coaches what they feel about that. It's kind of like touchy. I don't really.
Yeah,
but,
it is
as far as just around the county, I think a lot of people are just like it's a lot of it going on. But I don't really see any way to stop it. You know what I mean? If kids are willing to sit that 30 days or whatever many days it is.
Is that what it is? See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you have
There's
to.
a 30 day.
You got to sit 30 days. The first 30 days, the first 30 days of the season. However many games factors into that 30 days, you got to sit. And as long as kids are willing to do that, then they're going to transfer. And I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much CIF can do about it other than making them sit that 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's certainly not just happening in college sports. It's kind of happening all over. All right. Dax Hall. I feel like we heard that name last year from you. He's back on the list again this year. Is he's Santa Fe Christian?
Yes.
Is that correct? Is that school a basketball school, or is he kind of the guy leading the way on that squad?
Well, I mean, they've been a basketball school the last 4 years because of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's his senior year. He's about 6'3". I mean, he's been one of the leaders of the team for a couple years now. But now it's his senior year. He's about 6'3". Nice, solid frame. That's one of the things about him. Like, no matter who he's playing against, they have a really hard time keeping him out of the paint. He can shoot. And when he gets into the paint, he knows how to find passers, and he knows how to find shooters. They got a lot of shooters on their team. So yeah, Dax Hall's been doing a really good job of leading Santa Fe Christian this year. I'm pretty sure he's going to lead them deep into the playoffs for sure.
One thing I do not like as an official is when a player is so talented that he does things I don't expect a player to be able to do.
Right.
So what happens a lot of times, you'll see a player in a position where your mind says, oh, that's going to be a foul. But then the player is so quick that he doesn't commit a foul, and you got to be careful. One of those such guys is the guard at Olympian. I don't know his name, but
Tristan.
Is he going anywhere? Because he's quick. He's lightning quick.
Yes, he has an offer from Pepperdine.
Okay.
Pepperdine. And
Yeah, good-looking player there at Olympian.
He's really, really good, and he's just you could tell he's just naturally good. But then the more you watch him play, you could tell that like he's really, really worked on his game. And you could still got
you
some
can
things.
see that from last year to this year
Big time.
in just a couple of games I've seen on the screen. He looked like he worked on his game over the summer.
Was it Steel Canyon? I don't want to grab my phone. It's going to take me too long to find it. But I covered one of their games, and it was close. No, it was Rancho Christian, and it was close all the way down to the end, and it ended up going into overtime. But in the fourth quarter and overtime, and I filmed the timeouts as well. And the coach called a play, and he was like, "Nah, coach, let's run this." And the coach was like, "All right." Put the ball in his hands, and he led them. Like not just that one play, but like down the stretch, led them. And it was like you could tell like something just like for him, it was like, all right, it's time to win the game. Nobody out here is better than me. It's time to go win the game, and that's what he did. It was impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, that Olympia team had a nice run last year before falling a little bit short, but. They did. They ended up.
Yeah, they won the championship.
They won their division.
Yeah, they won the championship. Yeah, Division 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Tonight, there's a game you covering tonight.
Yeah, I'll be at Canyon Crest Academy. They're taking on La Jolla.
La Jolla High.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. La Jolla's got
at Canyon Crest or at La Jolla.
At Canyon Crest.
Okay.
La Jolla's got a point guard, Leo Hawkinson. He was one of the leaders of their team last year, and this is his first year playing there. He was their leading scorer, and I believe he led them in assists as well. He's put on some nice muscle. It reminds me of Steph Curry. I just added. It was like, oh, like Steph kind of looking kind of swole out here a little bit. Like Leo put on some weight. You know what I mean? Like he was already like crafty, could get where he wanted on the floor, but just like that added muscle was just like added to his game. And then also, I'm blanking on my man's name.
For La Jolla or Canyon
for
Crest?
La Jolla.
Yeah, my number 12. That's what I would say. I don't know.
I believe he was number 12 though.
Oh, he was.
I'm blanking on my man's name. I don't want to do him like that.
Well, I will say this: you're going up to Canyon Crest tonight, and that's a very talented street right there, Delmar Heights.
Oh yeah,
you get off.
Yes, it is.
There's Torrey Pines on the left. You get down to the mile. There's Cathedral on the right. And if you miss both of those, you'll wind up at Canyon Crest.
Is it Jake Hunter?
No, I'm sorry. I had to find it real quick. It was number 11. I'm sorry. He's senior Brody Sessa. Brody Sessa. He's Mr. Do It All for La Jolla. He's I think if Leo leads them in scoring, I think he leads them in everything else. He's like their Mr. Do It All. I love to watch him play. He's a good player.
Those guys are always fun. Michael, we're gonna do it again next week.
Absolutely.
And until the season ends, happy to get this first one in the can. We got a few minutes left before we can skedaddle. What you got?
Michael, tell everyone where they can find you
Yes.
on social media.
Yes, Michael Flix on Instagram. Michael spelled the normal way, a period, then FLIX. And then on YouTube, it's Flix Media Network. Thank you for reminding me of that. On my YouTube, like I mentioned before, I interviewed Coach Marshawn Cherry, and we're going to be interviewing as many coaches as I can, players as well, but as many coaches as I can.
I think this is a great thing for people to kind of get to know some of these coaches that Chris is talking about that pour themselves into these kids year in and year out. Michael's going to be going around the county really interviewing as many as he can.
Yeah, I mentioned 5. There's way more. There's like 55.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. I think that's a big reason why we've seen San Diego basketball really take off in the last 10 years. As you know, these coaches are so valuable to these kids, and we don't necessarily know it all the time or really give the flowers the way we should, but they're a big reason why we've seen basketball blow up.
I can give them flowers on the radio. I can't do it in person because they're yelling at me. What do you know about anything on that? We're a little early. Couple weeks. The Torrey Pines tournament going to be loaded as usual this year.
I'm sure. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know that it's come out yet. Yeah,
but it's always loaded, so I'm sure it's going to be loaded.
That's going to be my thing this year is I'm gonna try to get to some of those games, so I can see some of these guys in person.
They're good,
and then we can have a little bit deeper conversation about some of these guys. I think.
For sure.
I remember we interviewed Brian Dutcher a few years ago, and he was leaving the Torrey Pines doing some scouting. So I mean, if Brian Dutcher's going to those games, there's some pretty good players there.
For real.
Speaking of Torrey Pines, little sneak peek. It's not locked in yet, but speaking of coaches, one of the winningest, he might be the winningest coach, but one of the winningest coaches here in San Diego. I'm in talks with him, his staff right now.
Tory?
It might be Tory. I'm in talks. I'm in talks right now about having one of them on the show. I'm really excited about that because he's got a wealth of basketball knowledge. So I'm looking forward to talking to him.
If it is the coach of Tory, you don't have to say.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't. But I did one of his games about 3 years ago.
We've had him on.
Yeah.
We've had him on a few times.
Before that, we did a game. He lost by 1 point, a last-second shot. I'm walking off the court. He comes up to me. I go, oh, he's going to be mad. He goes, Chris, say hi to Tony. Man, he's thinking of Tony right now. He just lost a heartbreaker.
Remember, Tony's the deer of the show.
Yes, he's the guy.
That's why everybody wants to say that.
That's what they
I mean,
say.
there's a ton of high school football coverage in San Diego, but there is not much high school basketball coverage.
Not as much. But thanks to Michael, though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
getting
what I'm
up there.
saying. Like, it's good.
There's so many more.
Not just you.
I was about to say there's so many more too, and that's you guys are giving me so many alley-oops here, but I appreciate it. And there's so many other photographers now that are not just putting out content, but they're giving like a little write-up about the player and about like what they've been doing or what happened in that game, which I think is amazing because like you said, there's so much coverage for football and we have much more for basketball, but it's growing and
it's
and
definitely
that's amazing.
growing. It's definitely more sophisticated. I mean, as you mentioned, it's not just the photos. You're getting a little summary of some of these games. I think high school sports in San Diego is in a good spot, especially in those two particular sports.
Next
that we're talking.
Next week, I'm gonna have a list of some of the people that are kind of covering basketball around the county for people to follow, and so they can stay as tapped in as they can.
Wow, that's very nice of you because I would never bring up my competition ever.
This man is well. He's well rounded. He wants to share everything.
That means he's confident in his work.
No doubt. Michael,
Absolutely.
as always, man, we'll do it again next week.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Skraby Chronicles up next. He's got an hour to come up with something to talk about.
Hey, you can talk about this, Skraby. What current NFL player said of Lane Kiffin, I think he's a good coach. I guess we'll see how it goes. Those are my thoughts.
Did he go to LSU?
Who is it?
Joe Cool.
Really?
He was asked about the hire, and he wasn't too excited.
I love it. Joe Burrow, man of the people.
Yeah, there you go. Then he
That's
went
why
and
he's
smoked
playing
a cigar,
right now.
probably.
Yeah, he's playing right now because the fans pay their money. Music to my ears.
Cliche. Have a good night, everyone.